A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Now it's Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Quite a few romances have started between faculty members teaching at the same school. But for our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, romance is a problem.
It's really two problems. Problem number one is the object of my affections, Mr. Philip Boynton, biology teacher. He's so bashful, he won't even shave himself unless he's wearing a tie. And problem number two is the strict anti-fraternization rule laid down by Madison's beloved principal, Osgood Conklin. Of course, Mr. Boynton devised a very effective method of getting around this rule. He suggested that we stop seeing each other entirely. However, I immediately used my power of veto, and before he could take it to the General Assembly, we convened for 2 dates away from the school. The last date occurred on Wednesday night, and Thursday morning at breakfast, my landlady asked for details.
Now tell me everything that happened last night, Connie.
We went to a movie, Mrs. Davis.
And
we came home. And fold up your program. The recital is over. Pass the cream, please.
But what did Mr. Boynton say? What did he do?
Nothing. Pass the cream.
I can't understand that man. Here he has date after date with a girl who's intelligent, attractive, wholesome,
chic,
charming. And what does he do about it?
Nothing. Pass the cream. Oh, it's not that he isn't fond of me, Mrs. Davis, but he's been worried lately about someone very near and dear to him.
A relative?
Yes, his pet frog, McDougal. It seems with the cold weather coming on, Mac is very prone to laryngitis, and there are no heating facilities for the cages. The least the school should do is put some heating equipment in there.
Why doesn't Mr. Boynton ask Mr. Conklin for it?
Because Mr. Boynton is almost as terrified of Mr. Conklin as he is of me. He wouldn't dare ask him for anything.
Then you've got to do it, Connie. Don't you see? If you get the things that he needs, Mr. Boynton won't be so preoccupied and worried when he's out on dates with you.
Well, it's worth a try, I guess. Now, if I can remember where I left it, I'll put my face on and get ready for Walter Denton. He's driving me to school again.
You mean your car is still in the repair shop?
Yes, the mechanic called yesterday and said it would take a bit longer this time. It seems they're having a little trouble with the motor.
What kind of trouble?
They've misplaced it. I'm glad you picked me up early today, Walter. I've got to stop in Mr. Conklin's office before my first class.
Oh, what a depressing way to start off the day. I'm glad I don't have to see our beloved principal this morning. I'm low enough already.
Low?
Yeah, I feel gloomier than a school teacher's personality. Present company accepted, of course.
Of course. What's the reason for your blue mood? Did Harriet Conklin give you the go-by?
Oh, no, ma'am. No, Harriet and I are still an item. It's Stretch Snodgrass who's preying on my mind.
Maybe that's because he hasn't got one of his own.
Yeah, I know he's never been exactly a beacon of brilliance scholastically, Miss Brooks, but on that gridiron, he's always been a tower of strength. Up to last week, that is.
What happened last week?
Well, you saw the game last Saturday. Didn't you see what he did?
Sure. He picked up a fumble and ran 85 yards with it. Of course, I couldn't quite figure out why I was the only one in my section who was cheering.
He ran the wrong way. That's how Oakhurst beat us, on that one numbskull play. Now, if Stretch doesn't perk up, we'll lose our big game to Clay City next week.
What do you think is the cause of this change, Walter?
Yeah, I know what it is. The big goof's in love.
In love?
Yeah, and the trouble is he won't tell anybody who the girl is. Oh, wait a minute. You know, he's very fond of you, Miss Brooks. Maybe you could straighten him out. You know, have a talk with him and...
I'd like to help, Walter, but I've got a more pressing problem this morning. That's why I'm going straight to Mr. Conklin's office.
Well, what could possibly be more pressing than Madison's winning the Battle of the Year?
My winning the Battle of Boynton's Lab.
Daddy, why are you so despondent?
Because of our coach's report on Snodgrass, that's why. He's been playing abominably, and the coach knows the reason. The big moose is in love.
In love? Oh, but isn't there something we can do, Daddy?
If there were, I'd be doing it. You don't think I want to lose this game to Jason Brill's Clay City nincompoops, do you?
Well, of course not, Daddy. I know Mr. Brill's your arch rival.
He's worse than that. He's just no way out. There's no way I could possibly feel any worse than I do right now.
Have you thought of Miss Brooks, Daddy?
You have just shown me a way.
Miss Brooks might be able to help. If there's one person in this school whom Stretch admires and respects, it's her. Maybe she could pull him out of his doldrums.
So you might have something there at that. As soon as she gets to school. Come in.
Oh, pardon me, Mr. Conklin. If you're busy, I'll come back later.
Not at all, Miss Brooks. Harriet was just leaving for a class. Run along, child.
Okay, Daddy. See you later, Miss Brooks.
Goodbye, Harriet.
Well, sit down, won't you? Over here by my desk. That's the most comfortable chair.
Maybe you don't know who I am, sir. It's Miss Brooks.
I know it's Miss Brooks, and I'm delighted that you dropped in to see me this morning.
You are? Well, then it won't be so difficult to ask a favor.
You want a favor of me, Miss Brooks?
Yes, I do, sir.
Oh, now isn't that a coincidence? I want a favor of you. One hand washes the other, eh?
That's as good a way as any to get them both clean. What is your favor, Mr. Conklin?
Well, as you know, Madison's big football game with Clay City is to be played next week.
Yes, sir.
You are also aware of my intense rivalry with Jason Brill, their principal.
Yes, sir, but what do you want of me, Mr. Conklin?
Well, it's very simple, Miss Brooks. Perhaps you've heard about Snodgrass running the wrong way last Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know that nobody with half a brain could make a mistake like that twice, except perhaps Snodgrass. And that idiot woman a few rows behind me who kept cheering him.
Next Saturday, I'll keep my mouth shut. What do you think I can do about Stretch, Mr. Conklin?
Well, you may be able to straighten him out. You see, Miss Brooks, he's been even worse in practice this week than in that game last Saturday, and the coach seems to think it's because he's in love.
That's what Walter Denton thinks, too.
Does Denton know with whom?
No, sir, nobody does.
Exactly. And that's where you come in. In his lame-brained, dunce-like way, Snodgrass admires you greatly. He has his reasons, I'm sure.
We lame-brained dunces are pretty clannish.
Well, what I meant was you seem to be the logical person to find out just what little baggage is turning Snodgrass's head. And I use the word advisedly.
And if I find out, what then?
Then your natural feminine instincts will come to the fore, and you will devise some way to circumvent the activities of the aforementioned bit of baggage. Now then, what is the favor you seek?
Well, Mr. Boynton needs some new equipment for the biology lab, and he's too timid to ask for it.
He shall have it. What kind of equipment?
Or some heating facilities, for one thing, and more comfortable cages for his frogs and guinea pigs.
It's done. Anything else?
Else? Well, now that you mention it, I could use the new desk and some new window shades in my room. I also would like to have it painted a nice, cheerful shade of green.
Miss Brooks, you are speaking with Osgood Conklin, not the Aga Khan.
Well, if that is the way you feel about it, sir, maybe Stretch and his girl should be left alone. After all,
A nice, cheerful shade of green it is. Now, you're sure you know what to do, Miss Brooks?
Leave it to me, Mr. Conklin. When I get through with him, Stretch will not only check his baggage, he won't call for her for 30 days. Well, I took advantage of a free period I had right before lunch and sought out Madison's moon-eyed mastodon, Stretch Snodgrass. I found him near the water fountain in the hall. He was slouching against the wall and seemed half asleep. But when I approached him, he snapped to attention.
Hi.
Hello, Stretch. I hope I'm not keeping you up. I hope I'm not keeping you from any of your classes. But I would like to talk to you for a few minutes.
Well, you ain't keeping me from nothing, Miss Brooks. French classes are the place which I'm supposed to have been at pretty soon from now. But my French can wait.
At least until your English catches up. Stretch, what I wanted to talk to you about was your football playing. You know yourself that you're not playing as well as you used to, and a lot of your friends around here are beginning to worry about it.
Why should they worry? Gosh, just because I don't play over my head in every game, everybody gets all upset. This season's been nothing but practice, practice, practice. The guy can't go on like that with just all work and no play. After all, I ain't no automatron.
No automatron?
You know, a mechanical man. The kind they call a Robert. Besides, a little relaxing never hurt nobody.
Stretch, why should a young boy like yourself be yawning in the middle of the morning?
I'm tired.
Couldn't have thought of a better answer if I'd tried all day.
My new girlfriend thinks relaxing is good for me. She won't even let me quit rumbering and take her home till 1 a.m. It's been going on like that for the last 2 weeks.
Who is this new girlfriend, Stretch?
Oh, no, you don't.
No, I don't what?
You don't get Judy's name out of me. I promised to keep it a secret.
Well, that's your privilege. If you don't want me to know Judy's name, I'm not going to know Judy's name. That's all there is to that. Judy what?
Gosh, I didn't even want that part of her name to get out, but it just slipped. Well, look, Miss Brooks, you wouldn't want me to break a promise, would you?
Fervently. Listen, Stretch, even if you enjoy all this rumbering, don't your girl's parents object to these late hours every night?
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
How can you be so sure?
Her old man gives me the money to take her out.
What?
Sure. He's not like our principal. Mr. Brill's a real good sport.
Stretch, you mean to tell me you've been taking out Judy Brill?
How do you know?
A little bird brain told me. I can't wait to see Mr. Conklin's reaction to this bit of news.
Gosh, Miss Brooks, you're not going to tell Mr. Conklin, are you?
Not yet, Stretch. Out of consideration for his family, there's something I've got to find out first.
What's that?
If his life insurance is paid up. I've talked through your entire lunch, Mr. Boynton, but it couldn't be helped. If we're going to get any favors from Mr. Conklin, we've got to straighten out Stretch Snodgrass.
I'm glad you told me the story, Miss Brooks. Imagine Jason Brill putting his own daughter up to a trick like that. What kind of a girl is this Judy Brill, anyhow?
Well, you know the expression, sweet 16 and never been kissed.
Yes.
When this kid reached 12, she was ineligible. I met her last summer, Mr. Boynton. Judy Brill is quite a little firebrand. She's at an age now where she considers all males fair game.
There's an age?
This boy's been learning biology as well as teaching it. Look, Mr. Boynton, when I found out that Stretch was going with Jason Brill's daughter, I devised a plan. We're going to beat Jason Brill at his own game. All we have to do is to get Stretch to think that Judy's just a flirt, and he'll lose all interest in her.
But how do we do that?
By letting Stretch catch her on a date with some other boy.
What other boy?
Walter Denton.
Walter Denton?
Did I hear somebody mention my name?
Oh, you're just in time, Walter. Sit down, please. Mr. Boynton and I would like to talk to you.
Okay. Have you thought of any way to get Stretch's mind off the mystery woman and back on his football game, Miss Brooks?
Yes, Walter, I've thought of a dilly of a plan, but it requires some cooperation from you.
Oh, we should all do whatever we can, Walter. This is a crisis.
Well, yeah, but what can I do? He won't even tell me the name of this chick.
The name of the chick is Judy Brill, and her father's been paying all the expenses to keep Stretch out late every night rumbering.
Rumbering?
Yes, rumbering. While the Clay City team is getting its rest, Judy Brill is keeping our star player's backfield in motion. But I know the kind of a boy Stretch is, and if we can arrange to have him catch Judy with another boyfriend, I know he'll forget all about her.
Not only forget about her, but it might make him so mad he'll go out on that field Saturday and play the game of his life.
Say, that sounds like a swell idea. You know, of course, Stretch is boxing champ of Madison, too, so it might not be so pleasant for the guy he catches with his girl. But that's a necessary risk, I guess. Who's the chump you've got lined up to be the patsy in this?
Don't be crude, Patsy. Walter. I thought that you'd be happy to volunteer for the job.
Me?
You want to see Madison beat Clay City, don't you?
Well, sure I do, but will I have my bandages off in time? Oh, you've never seen Stretch fight. I have.
Believe me, Walter, Mr. Boynton and I will make sure that Stretch doesn't lay a hand on you.
He doesn't have to. He could kick me to death. No, I'm afraid you'll just have to count me out, folks. No.
Count you out? Oh, but Walter, Stretch is a very dear friend of yours. You don't want to see him ruin his life, do you?
Don't you see, Walter, this girl isn't right for Stretch. It isn't just a football game that's involved. It's a boy's future.
But what about my future?
What about your future?
I want to be around when it gets here. Oh, Stretch has a terrible temper, and if he catches me making goo-goo eyes at his girl, he'll clobber me till I'm dismal. Besides, there's Harriet Conklin. You know, we're virtually betrothed. Now, what would she think if she heard I was out with another girl?
She won't hear, Walter. And even if she does, we can always explain that you were just doing it for the good of your school.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'd rather not take the chance.
I'm surprised at you, Walter. Haven't you any sense of loyalty?
Haven't you any school spirit? This whole thing won't take you more than half an hour. All you have to do is sit on the couch and put your arms around a little red-headed girl with big blue eyes, a cute little turned-up nose, and an adorable mouth.
No, I still think that if Stretch had an adorable mouth...
Exquisite.
Nobody can say I haven't got any school spirit. What time and where?
Make it 8 o'clock tonight at my place. I'll drop over to Clay City High this afternoon and tell Judy I'm thinking of accepting her father's invitation to join the faculty there next term. Then I'll invite her over to my place for dinner, ostensibly so I can ask some questions about my new pupil.
But supposing she won't come?
Oh, she'll be glad to come. Judy Brill's just a little girl. And to be asked to dinner by a woman like Miss Brooks is quite flattering. After all, when you get right down to ages...
When you get right down to ages, I'm almost twice as tall as Judy Brill. Well, Part A of my plan worked perfectly, and that afternoon I persuaded Judy Brill to have dinner at my house. So at 8 o'clock that evening, we were in the living room, gabbing away like a couple of old... extremely young magpies.
I'm sure glad you asked me over tonight, Miss Brooks. The dinner was wonderful, and I've enjoyed talking to you about your teaching at Clay City next term.
I suppose you feel you should be out dancing Stretch's feet off, but you've still got 3 nights before the big game, and not seeing you tonight will only make him more anxious.
You're so right. Men are such problems. They're just like children. You've got to play up to their ego and convince each one he's the only man in your life. Oh, but listen to me telling you about men. A sophisticated, charming woman like you. Tell the truth. How many men do you have dangling from a string?
Just one, Judy. And he doesn't exactly dangle. He sort of bobs and weaves.
As if I'd believe that about a woman like you, Miss Brooks. Oh, I wish I had your knowledge of men.
Want to trade?
It was a very pleasant coincidence that Walter Denton dropped over, don't you think? He's an awfully cute boy.
I'm glad you like him, Judy. By the way, where did he disappear to?
I didn't disappear. She's on my lap.
Oh, now, isn't that sweet? What a naive way to get acquainted. I'd better answer that. Mrs. Davis is in her sitting room down the hall.
Want me to answer it?
You sit right where you are, Walter.
Yes, you sit right where you are, Walter.
How can I help it? She hasn't budged off me since I said, "How do you do, Miss Brill?"
I'll get it.
Well, here we are, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Mr. Boynton. Come on in, Stretch.
Thanks.
Well, what brings you to this part of town, Stretch?
I was just walking home when Mr. Boynton drove up alongside the curb in his car and stuck his head out of the window and said, "Hi, Stretch, just the fellow I've been looking for. How about hopping in and going for a little ride over to Miss Brooks' place and having a glass of milk or something if you haven't got anything better to do?" And I didn't have nothing better to do, so I said, "Okay, Mr. Boynton, I'd like nothing better than to hop in and go over to Miss Brooks' place for a glass of milk or something." Have you got any?
So that's what brings you to this part of town. Well, I'll give you some milk later, Stretch. There are some friends of yours in the living room. Come on in. Oh, pardon me, kids, but we've got company.
Hi, Walter. I didn't know that... Judy, what are you doing here?
Miss Brooks invited me over to dinner, and then Walter just sort of dropped by.
You sort of dropped by?
Hold him, Miss Brooks!
It's around him, Mr. Boynton.
What's everybody so jumpy about?
Well, aren't you sore at me for sitting here with your girl?
Sore? Heck no, Walter. You're doing me a big favor. See, I got to thinking about what Miss Brooks said this morning, and I realized that I got to get a lot more sleep if I'm going to be any good in the game Saturday.
But, Stretch, dear, you don't have to sleep so much.
Sure I do. Oh, it ain't that I don't appreciate what you and your dad done for me, Judy. And I certainly ain't mad about all that rumbering.
It's just that for athletes, rumbering's not as good as slumbering. Now, Walter, if I may make a suggestion, I think you should drop Miss Brill off at the bus station.
Well, what's this all about, anyway? Is this some kind of a plot?
Turnabout's fair play, Miss Brill.
Yeah. And if you'll excuse me right now, I'll turn about and hit the road.
I'll excuse all of you right now. All but you, Mr. Boynton.
Well, this is what I get for accepting the hospitality of a Madison Highite.
Thank you, and good night. Don't slam the door.
Oh, come on, Stretch. The least we can do is drop her off at the bus station. Good night, Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton.
Good night. Well, it's simmered down to just the two of us, Mr. Boynton. Let's sit down on the couch.
All right. You know, Miss Brooks, in spite of the fact that I'm a biologist, I've never been overly observant about the emotional reactions of the people around me.
You're not just beating your Bunsen burner, Boynton. That is, you have seemed a little preoccupied at times.
Well, be that as it may, your interest in the welfare of my little animals and the trouble you went to see that I got proper heating facilities for my lab have made me realize just how much you care.
Really, Mr. Boynton?
Yes, indeed. And I want you to know that I care even more than you do.
You care even more than I do?
Yes. I've got $5 bet on that game Saturday.
Well, here's $2.50. I'll take half your bet, and we'll set up housekeeping on the 40-yard line.
And now a word from our star, Eve Arden.
Well, we all had a wonderful time at the football game.
Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, transcribed, is produced and directed by Larry Burns. Written by Arthur Oldsberg and Al Lewis, with the music of Bud Bluster. Mr. Conklin was played by Gail Jordan. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Bob Rockwell, Gloria McMillan, Leonard Smith, and Sandra Gould.
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner, eating his Christmas pie. He took in his thumb and he pulled out a big slogan that said, "You won't know what you're missing if you don't see Nord."
Transcribed from Hollywood, Norge, a division of Borg Warner, manufacturers of America's most modern automatic and wringer washers, gas and electric ranges, water heaters, and home freezers. Originators and world's largest manufacturers of self-defrosting refrigerators, Norge presents the Red Skelton Show. With Red Skelton, David Rose and his orchestra, Lorene Tuttle, Pat McGeehan, and the Smith twins will be me, Rod O'Connor. Now, the star of our program, Red Skelton.
Oh, my. Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hiya, Rod.
Hiya, Red.
How do you feel, Rod?
Oh, I feel great.
That's good. I wonder what the other idiots are doing tonight. I'll bet Jack Benny wishes he had writers like this. We rehearsed all day long. We sat here, we yell at each other and everything, and we get on the air and say, "How do you feel? Good to see you." That's silly.
Well, Red, I see that Santa Anita racetrack open.
Oh, yeah. It's a funny coincidence. The other day, Santa Anita opened my savings account closed.
Well, Red, do you mean you've been out of the track already?
Yeah, you can tell by the shirt I'm not wearing. That sailor has it as a flag. That flag I was wearing is now a shirt. Say, not only did they take my shirt, but the hair on my chest. Both of them. Hey, you know, I was out the racetrack one day, and I had an old pair of slacks, and they didn't have any pockets in them, see? And there was a guy out there. He came up and he put his hand in my pocket, big pocket, see? Put his hand in my pocket, so I reached through and shook hands with him. Anyway, I kind of like to go out the racetrack. I love to see the horses run.
Oh, I do too,
and
Red.
the ones I bet on, too.
Well, I love horse racing. You know, it's a clean sport.
Yeah, they clean me. I went down to the track with a friend of mine, Freeman Keys. You know, he owns horses.
Mm-hmm. Well, did Freeman's horse go to the post yesterday?
Huh?
I said, did Freeman's horse go to the post yesterday?
Well, this is a horse race, boy.
We try it again?
Yeah.
Did Freeman's horse go to the post yesterday?
Yeah, and then right after the race, they burn him at it. His horse would have won, but he kept turning around to see if his plow was on straight. I'm not saying this horse was slow, but when he started, a 2-year-old, he ended up an 8-year-old. He run so many times that he didn't recognize any of the other horses when he met them face to face. Hey, did you hear about the radio horse?
No.
As the race starts, he turns up the grandstand and he says, "Goodbye, folks. See you next week. Same time, same place."
Did you have any money riding on him, Red?
Yeah, $2. Horse bucked twice. I guess that's what weighed him down. The horse would have made a better showing, but he... See, I don't know. I should read these things before.
Well, what happened?
Huh?
Say, what happened? Why couldn't he run faster? Huh? See, you have a cold.
Well, I'll tell you. He turned to one of the other horses and he says, "Have you run on this track before?" And the other horse says, "Yes." He says, "I'll follow you." That saves that one,
Yes,
though.
it does. A real nag,
He started out at 2-1. He came in at 6:30. A nag? This horse was so sway back in the middle of the race, the jockey stumbled. And when the race started, see, they yelled, "They're off!" The horse yelled back, "Prepare yourself, here it comes." They yelled, "They're off!" And the horse yelled back, "You can't fool me, I ain't wearing it." If they're not there, we'll make up something.
You know, it seems strange that they'd let a horse like that run.
Yeah.
I prefer thoroughbreds, horses that are high-strung.
Yeah, well, this horse should be. At least he was a pretty nice horse, though. Oh, he had a lot of spirit, The beginning of that race, boy, you should see him rear up on his knees. He was almost human. He started the race from a kneeling position. Mm-hmm. That crowd at Santa Anita, boy, the money they spend. Do you realize how much money they spend in racing each year?
No.
Truman found out how much money they took in at Santa Anita last year, so now he wants to throw out Congress and put in horses.
While you were out there, Red, did you see anybody you know?
Yeah, I saw my brother out there. Boy, can he pick 'em.
Women or horses?
Pocket. Yeah, my brother's really quite a character.
He must have been quite a character.
Oh, yeah. He's working on a labor-saving device now.
A labor-saving device? What's that?
A rich old lady.
Now the Smith twins.
I was going to Shanghai. I want to be with you tonight. Why did I holler I was going to Shanghai? I want to be with you tonight. It was just a little misunderstanding that a kiss on the cheek could patch. I need you so badly, I'd gladly start over from scratch. Oh, why did I tell you it was bye-bye for Shanghai? I'm even allergic to rice. Why don't you stop me when I talk about Shanghai? It's just a lover's device. Now who's gonna kiss me? Who's gonna thrill me? Who's gonna hold me tight? I'm right around the corner in a phone booth, and I wanna be with you tonight. My wild imagination gives me so much aggravation. Now I know I sounded foolish when I made my exit bow. And if I wasn't sorry then, I'm more than sorry now. Oh, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. Now who's gonna kiss me? Who's gonna thrill me? Who's gonna hold me tight? I'm right around the corner in a phone booth at all. I want to be with you tonight.
Let me ask you a question. Do you enjoy wash day? Most women want to get it over with as fast as possible. If wash day makes you tired, you ought to get a new Norge triple action washer. Norge gets the dirt out fast. An average load takes just 7 minutes. And there's no washing action known that gets clothes as clean as Norge triple action. A Norge is easier on the clothes and easier on you. Norge's big gentle touch wringer gets clothes drier with less wear and tear, and it swings in any direction to save moving the washer. Many of the modern full-skirt washers have a tendency to tip over. They're top-heavy. But the streamlined pyramid design of the new Norge washer prevents tipping. It rolls like a feather on 5 smooth casters, but anchors anywhere with a touch of your toe, because 2 of the 5 casters are self-locking. There's even an automatic timer on the new Norge to shut off the wash action at the time you set. Yes, if wash day makes you tired, Better see the new Norge Triple Action Washer, for you won't know what you're missing if you don't see Norge. From the Skelton Scrapbook of Satire, a story entitled Dogs. Chapter 1, Man's Best Friend's Worst Enemy, the Dog Catcher. And it stars Clem Cadiddlehopper.
Well, here I am. Just me and my dog. Do 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 do. Beautiful words. I can never remember the tune though. Well, here I am, just me and my dog. I got a job as a dog catcher. Yes, sir. I got the job because dogs like me. They like my face. They think I'm one of them. Yes, sir. An old man stopped to pat me on the head and asked my dog if I bark much. Oh, well, it's wonderful what these strange animals are coming... What's this wonderful... Look at this one. Wonder what this strange animal is coming down the street. Looks, like Clushes. Looks vicious. Where's my net? I'm going to get glasses, believe me, with beer in them.
Well, howdy, Clem.
Well, did you? Yes, sir, they could put wheels on me and use me for a sprinkler. Well, how it is, I live and breathe.
I just heard that you're the new dog catcher, Clem.
Yep, I was elected just yesterday.
Who elected you? The city council?
No, the dogs.
How is the dog catching business?
Oh, it's fine, it's catching on.
Did you catch many dogs today?
Well, I caught a few small ones, but you should have seen the big one that got away. Say, do you want to see my dogs? They're all caged up here in my push cart. Here, boys, here, take it easy.
That dog looks familiar.
Well, he's mine. I just let him go along for the ride, you know. You know, they say a dog is just like its master.
Yeah, he does look pretty stupid.
Oh, no, he don't. He's a smart dog. I tell him to run or walk and lay down, and he understands me.
Does he do what you tell him?
Sure, if he happens to agree with me. Any dog can do what you tell him to do, but a dog that's really smart can figure things out for himself.
Oh. You know, Kabina Wright has the smartest dog I've ever seen.
Oh, he is not. He's the laziest dog I've ever seen in my life. The fleas on him have to scratch themselves. That dog's so lazy, why, when you give him a bone, he takes it to the undertaker to bury it for him.
Oh, you're just jealous, Clem.
Have you ever seen Gene Fowler's dog? If you call that a dog, I'm a pig.
Well?
Well, never mind those smart aleck remarks, you know. You just hold your tongue. Just hold your tongue. And you'll find it's mighty slippery.
If this thing here is your dog, what's his name?
His name's Otto. Call him Otto because no matter which way you spell it, it comes out the same way.
Oh, I declare, Clem, you're a moron.
Which nobody can deny. Yeah, I got papers to prove it, too. And even if I am, I ain't going to worry about nothing. I'll get myself a lot of dogs and go into television.
What doing?
A quiz show. Look, I'll show you how smart Otto is. I taught him how to add. Here, Otto. What's 2 and 2? Come on, boy, one more. Well, I'll be seeing you, DJ. I got to go catch some more dogs.
Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered. There's a vicious dog loose in the neighborhood. He bites every stranger he sees.
Do tell.
He's awful mean. I thought I ought to tell you about him. It's my duty to you.
And howdy doody to you, too. Where'd you say this dog is?
He's over in Slim Tickum's backyard.
Well, I'll just go over and get him.
Well, now, be careful. You know what to do if he tries to bite you, don't you?
Sure, I try to bite him back. I've had my distemper shot. Well, hold on, dogs. Here we go. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. I'd throw that dog a bone, but that'd be using my head. I didn't think you were going to finish it for a while. Well, here's Slim Pickens' house. I'll go see if they got a mad dog around here any place.
Oh, good heavens, is Halloween here already? Hey, what you want?
What you got? Have you seen any vicious dogs around here?
No, you're the first one I've seen this morning.
We're going to miss this boy around here. Besides me. Look, there's a mad dog loose in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, if I see him, I'll tell him you're looking for him.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Open the door, will you?
Now what do you want?
Just wanted to get my nose out was all. Thank you.
Oh, Clem! Look, the mad dog.
Yeah, well, if you keep on running, I'll sneak up on him.
Well, do something. He's coming after you.
Now, don't get excited. I'll just grab him and put him in the Bookcase.
Be careful, Clem.
I'll get him. Here, boy. Here, boy.
Well, grab him. Oh, he's getting friendly. He's smiling at you.
Mighty sharp smile, ain't he?
Did he bite you?
Do you see my fingers?
No.
Then he bit me. All right, now that's enough. I don't take that from nobody. In the cage. All right, come on, inside. We'll take that from... Well, don't stand there. Open the door and let me out.
Here's Dave Rose now, and an old-timer, She's Funny That Way. And now let's hear one of those useful wash day tips from Jessie Cartwright, co-director of the Norge Home Economics Department.
During these winter months when you so often have to dry the clothes inside, here's a hurry-up idea. Get out your electric fan and put it on a table 2 or 3 feet away from the clothesline. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can dry things this way.
And you'll be surprised at how much drier the Gentle Touch wringer on the new Norge washer gets your clothes in the first place. The pressure selector adjusts the big balloon rollers instantly to adjust the right pressure for anything you want to wring. From bedspreads to baby clothes. That means more water removed, less wear and tear on fabric fibers, and no more broken buttons. Nord's triple action washing is gentler, too. Yet there's no washing action known that gets clothes so clean so fast. Why not drop in at your Nord's dealers and ask them to demonstrate a new Nord's triple action washer for you? Because you won't know what you're missing if you don't see Nord's.
Our final chapter is entitled A Boy and His Dog, starring Junior, the mean-witted kid.
Junior, where are you?
I'm upstairs, Mommy.
Where? Oh, I'm glad there's only one of you. Go outside and play with your tricycle.
No, okay. I like to ride like a cowboy. Look at me go. Whee! I am a daredevil boy. Right faster, faster, right through that mud puddle. Here I go. Whee! Boom. Who put that rock in there? Hey, look across the street there. Look at that, the little puppy dog. Here, come with a dog, boy. You're so cute. Why don't you get that short tail? Looks like somebody give you a GI tail haircut. Aren't you nice? I always wanted a little dog like you. But Pop would never let me have one. He was afraid it was barking when he sneaked in at night and wake up Mummy, you know. Uh-oh. Here comes Mr. Fowler, that big tattletale.
Well, Junior, hello.
Oh, shut up. Hey, how'd you like me dog?
Well, I didn't know you had a dog.
Neither does me Mummy.
Oh. Junior, did you know that little dog has no license?
What's that mean?
Well, the dog catcher picks up little pups without licenses.
Well, then I will buy him a license.
Well, they cost $2.
Then you will buy him a license.
But why should I pay the $2? He's not my animal.
Well, I tell you what, I'll sell him to you for $2 and then steal him back.
That's silly. You'll have the money for the dog tag, but you won't have your dog.
I'll get your dog back, don't worry. I can whistle, you know. I can whistle.
Why, that'd be cheating. You wouldn't do a thing like that, would you?
He talk like a new man around here. Uh-oh, here comes Fatso O'Connor. Mount Whitney on legs. Hi, Fatso.
Well, Junior, where did you get the dog?
My Mummy gave him to me, 'cause she don't know about it yet. Now, be careful. He might bite you. He ain't seen that much meat in a long time.
Well, I think we should report this hound to the city pound.
Yes, it may be mad for all we know.
Well, the way you're talking about him, he ought to be mad.
Now, hey, Junior, you know it's dangerous to pick up stray dogs.
Yes, Junior, I think it's our duty to report this dog to the pound.
I agree, Fowler.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't you fellas have my old puppy take me alone. You like him alone. I never had a puppy before.
Rod.
And a doggy is a man's best friend.
We'll go to my house and make the call.
All right.
Mommy, hey, Mommy. Come on, puppy, let's go see Mommy. Come on, boy. Come on. Hey, Mommy. But he's not in the kitchen. What do you want? Oh, he's a pointer. Look, he's a setter and a pointer. He's sitting and pointing to the octopus. Look at you, tail wagging. It's wagging so much it's wagging the dog. You hungry? Okay, I'll fix that, boy. Now, which would you rather have, a nice big steak, roast, pot roast, or some ice cream? Oh, you want to know everything, huh? Well, here you are. Yeah, I better put this butter on it. There, go with it. There. Well, look at that food disappear. Boy, he put it away fast, didn't he?
Junior, dear. Junior, what on earth?
Look, we had a real visitor.
Oh, good heavens. All my meat. That's the first steak I've been able to buy in a month. Oh, Junior, where did that dog come from?
Where did he come from? I don't know, but he sure was hungry.
Well, get him out of here at once.
Uh-oh, that's that dog catcher that Fatso Mr. Fowler sent for. Now, I know he wouldn't do that because he writes nice books about Jimmy Durant and people like that. Now, why did Jimmy Fowler
Well,
do
give
that?
this dog to him before he starts eating the plates. Go answer the door, Junior.
I'm not going to go at the dog catcher.
Junior, do you want a whipping?
Well, if you put it that way, I'll go answer the door. Well, welcome to Hobby Lobby.
I'm from the city pound, and I was told that you had a stray dog here.
What's a dog?
You don't have a dog?
We hate dogs. We can't stand them. The place you're looking for is about 20 miles away. Goodbye.
Oh, you don't have a dog, eh? What was that barking?
A very bad cold I got. I got brown kittens. Yeah, it's me poppies in the doghouse.
Junior, what is it? Oh, hello.
Hello. I came to pick up the stray dog.
No, Mommy, don't let him take him, please.
You do have a stray dog here, don't you?
Well, yes, we do. It's that little dog over there.
Don't point at me. It's me.
May I take the dog now?
Well, if you take that dog, you'll have to take me, too.
Junior, stop hugging that dog around the neck. You want him to bite you and get hydrophobia?
Don't let him take it. Please don't let him take it. Please don't let him take it.
Oh, all right. Wait a minute. Here's $2. We'll keep him.
Oh, fine. Here's the dog tag. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good day.
Good day. Well, Junior, are you satisfied?
You know, Lily, you ain't the most beautiful woman I ever saw.
Well, I just couldn't stand to see that little dog go to the pound. He jumped up in my arms and started wagging his tail and licking my face.
It does look cleaner.
Now go outside and play and see if you can behave.
Okay, come on, puppy. Come on, boy. Oh, look how it is all right. Hey, get out of me mummy's flower bed, will you, puppy? See, here, stop. Don't dig in those roses. Look at him fly. Look at him go. There, get out of there.
Junior, what's all the roses about? Look at my flower bed.
Ain't it a mess?
Junior, come here.
I didn't do it. It was the puppy.
Well, I can't stand the dog. That would be cruelty to animals.
Well, why don't they pass a law about cruelty to kids?
Now, you wanted the puppy, so you'll have to pay for his crime.
Oh, no. Okay. No matter who deserves his spanking, I always wind up with it in the end.
This is Robert Conner saying, remember, in washers, refrigerators, home freezers, water heaters, and gas and electric ranges, everything Norge makes right. This week, why don't you go see the Norge Triple Action Washer in the new non-tip pyramid model at your Norge dealer? See the washer that gets washed day over with in a hurry. A washer that's streamlined in looks and in action. See how Norge Triple Action gets clothes cleaner in less time. Yes, see the Norge Triple Action Washer at your local Norge dealer. And now until next week,
this is Rick Skelton saying thanks for listening and reminding you that you won't know what you're missing if you don't see Norge.
Join us again next week for the Rick Skelton Show. Rick Skelton is heard in Southern to the Terrace Metro Golden Mayor Studio. This is the copyrighted feature transcribed from Hollywood. This is the CBS Radio Network.
It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood for your listening and laughing pleasure. Chuckles with a carload and music by Matty Malney. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right. What's up? What's up tonight?
I beg your pardon?
I say, what's up tonight?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I took my Aunt Meg to the football game at the Coliseum this afternoon. Yes. At the end of the first quarter, a drunk came in and yelled, "Whose game?" Aunt Meg jumped up and says, "I am."
Your Aunt May doesn't know much about football, does she?
Oh, she thinks the rooting section is the front end of a pig.
She does?
She does. Hey, Abbott.
Right.
Which end is?
Right. You don't know much about football yourself, do you?
Oh, are you kidding? You should have seen me in college, Abbott. I was a triple threat man. I could run, kick, and pass. Boy, I could really throw it in those days.
You're not doing so bad tonight, either.
One time I made 30 touchdowns in the last 10 seconds of the game.
Wait a minute. How could you make 30 touchdowns in 10 seconds?
I had to. My mother had a bet on the game. You know, the quarterback would drop back, and then the left guard tackle and left end would open up a hole, and a hole big enough you could drive a truck through.
And what did you do?
I drove the truck. Once I caught a kickoff and started down the field, there were only 21 men between me and the goalpost.
21 men?
Yes, even my teammates hated me.
That's enough, Costello. I don't think you know the first thing about football. Tell me, what is an unbalanced line?
An unbalanced line?
Yes.
Sidney Greenstreet's belt.
Furthermore, I don't think you were even at a football game this afternoon.
Oh, yes, I was. During the halftime, a section of the bleachers where all the co-eds were sitting collapsed, and I dashed over.
Did you render first aid?
Yes, sir. I picked up a cute little blonde and started carrying her out when a fellow says, "Here, give her to me." And I said, "Nothing doing, brother. There's plenty more back there. Go get your own."
Oh, get him out of here.
Well, there's a sample of the high-grade nonsense you'll be hearing for the next half hour. But before we get back to it, listen to this.
Wait a minute. That's a beautiful suit you're wearing tonight.
I like it myself.
You look like a Rhapsody in brown.
All right, never mind that. Look, where have you been all day, Lou?
Huh?
Where have you been all day?
Well, I'll tell you, I was helping my Aunt May. She refurnished the whole house for Thanksgiving.
What kind of furniture did she get?
Chairs, tables, and beds.
No. I mean, what period is the furniture? Louis the 14th, colonial, or late French provincial?
It's early Army surplus.
What?
Don't hop on
Does Uncle Mike like the furniture?
Yes, especially the four-poster bed. Last night he kicked her over the end of the... He kicked her right over the end of the four-poster bed.
Why in the world did he do a thing like that?
He dreamed he was playing for Notre Dame and his team needed the extra point.
Your Uncle Mike is just like you. You're both dopes.
Yeah, my Uncle Mike is no dope, Abbott. He happens to be a very clever inventor. He just invented a new kind of motorcycle, and it's so fast. Get this. This motorcycle is so fast that you can get on it in Los Angeles at midnight and be in Cucamonga at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Is that so?
Yeah, but there's only one thing wrong with it.
What's that?
Who wants to be in Cucamonga at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, that just proves what I've always said. Your Uncle Mike is a shiftless loafer. He gambles away every cent that he gets.
Oh, no, he reformed, Abbott. He's never going to shoot dice or play cards again.
He said that before.
I know, but this time a judge said it.
Does Uncle Mike still drink as much as ever, Lou?
Nah, now he quits when he's had enough.
How can he tell when he's had enough?
Well, he sits across the table from Aunt May. And he sits there with a big bottle and he starts drinking. The minute Aunt May starts looking good to him, he knows he's had enough.
Hey, Lou, does your Uncle Mike and Aunt May fight as much as they used to?
No, but they had an argument yesterday. She clouded him in the puss and then kicked him in the stomach.
Kicked him in the stomach?
Yeah, but that was his fault. He turned around.
Does your Uncle Mike still work for the orange growers, Lou?
Oh, yes. A very important man in the orange business, Abbott. He's the only guy that can tell a California orange from a Florida orange.
How does he do it?
Well, he cuts an orange in half, holds it over a map of the United States, and squeezes it. If it's a California orange, it squirts all over Florida.
Look, Lou.
Yes.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, I'll tell you as soon as I get to it. Yes, I did. I found it. Yes. But we didn't have any turkey.
You didn't have a turkey? Why not?
By the time I got to the butcher's, all the finance companies were closed.
You mean to tell me that the price of turkeys is that high?
The price is high.
Yeah.
There was one woman in a butcher shop that didn't buy anything, and that weighed 2 pounds.
Look, never mind that. Did you buy a turkey?
I handed the butcher $2 and says, "What kind of turkey can I buy for that?" And he handed me an egg.
An egg?
Yeah.
An egg?
Hey, he said, "Go sit on that and hatch out your own turkey." What do you think I got? I got a duck.
A duck? Well, your peace talk says, well, where did you eat your Thanksgiving dinner?
Over at the YWCA.
The YWCA? Why, men aren't allowed in there.
I know, but I love to go there. It takes so many of them to throw you out.
You wanted to have Thanksgiving dinner with a girl. Why didn't you make a date with my wife? My wife's twin sister, Ella.
Abbott, when I sit down at the table for Thanksgiving, I want to see a turkey, not an old crow.
Ella's a lovely girl. Now, if you want to make a hit with her, why don't you buy her a box of candy? You know she has a sweet tooth.
I know, I've seen it. Too bad she hasn't got some more to go with it.
Gentlemen, I've got a few turkeys left over from the Thanksgiving rush. Would you like to buy one?
What kind of turkeys have you got?
I've got Texas turkeys and Vermont turkeys.
How do you tell them what?
The Vermont turkeys are still wearing Hoover buttons.
I don't think we'd be interested. Turkeys are too high this year.
Well, then, how about buying a raffle ticket on a great big turkey for $25?
I'll take 2 of them. Here's $50.
Thanks. Here's your tickets for the biggest turkey in town.
Hey, just a minute. Whoa. These aren't tickets for a turkey. These tickets are for the Abbott and Costello radio show.
Do you know of a bigger turkey?
He can't get away with that, Abbott. I'll break every bone in his body. Where did he go?
Right through that door.
He did, huh?
Yeah.
Open up that door.
Well, the door is open. What are you going to do about it? What do you want?
I just wanted to say goodbye.
Costello, it's a shame. Thanksgiving Day is nearly over, and you didn't even get a turkey.
Someday I'll be rich. Someday I'll have plenty of money. And when I do, I'll get a seat on the Chicago stockyard.
You mean stock exchange?
I mean stockyard. When all that meat comes in, I want to be there.
Costello, I'm afraid you'll never have any money. You don't know the value of a dollar.
How can I? Every time I learn the value of a dollar, some guy in Washington changes it.
Happy Thanksgiving, boys.
Look, Costello, it's our secretary, Viola Vaughn.
Viola, you look beautiful. How about you and me stepping out after the show?
Oh, tonight? Gee, I'll be tied up at home tonight.
Good. Maybe you'll be more fun that way. I'll come over and I'll tie
you. Viola, you must be very busy. Every time Costello asks you for a date, you're busy.
Well, I am busy. Mondays I go to gym class. Tuesdays I play golf. Wednesdays I go horseback riding. And when I have nothing on, I go swimming.
You couldn't pick a better time for it.
On second thought, this is Thanksgiving, and I'm kind of hungry for a date.
Then why not go out with me?
Abbott, she says she's hungry. She's not starving.
Now, suppose I did invite you over to my house tonight, Costello. What would you do?
Oh, well, we play games. We play like hide and seek, maybe post office.
Oh, that's a kid's game.
Not the way I play it.
All right, now, wait a minute.
Well, how do you play hide and seek?
Well, first you count up to 10, then run and hide in the closet. And then I count up to 10 and run and hide in the closet. It's a lot of fun.
Wait a minute. Where does the fun come in?
We both run to the same closet.
Nah, Costello, I don't think I'll invite you over. You're too fickle.
What do you mean?
Well, last week after the rehearsal, you were taking a nap, and I sneaked in, and you were dreaming and saying, "No, Rita, I won't kiss you. No.
So what?
My name is not Rita.
What are you kicking about? I said no, didn't I?
Viola was right. You are fickle. You're always flirting with girls. Last night I saw you driving down Hollywood Boulevard and you winked at a girl.
I only winked because something got in my eye.
And she got in your car, too.
Well, I'm surprised at you two arguing over girls.
You're right, Viola. Yeah. They aren't worth it. Women are responsible for a lot of stupid things.
Shame on you, Abbott, bringing your mother into this conversation.
You idiot. Why don't you find yourself a girl and get married?
Viola, you're the kind of a girl I'd love to be married to.
Oh, why do you want to marry me?
Being married to you would be wonderful. We could have 10 children.
10 children?
Yes, and if we like them the second year, we could have 10 more.
Viola, it would be silly to marry you. All you do is chase girls.
Mr. Abbott is right, Costello. I understand that you've kissed every blonde in Hollywood.
I have not.
Well, all right. Name one blonde in Hollywood you haven't kissed.
I'll name 2. Alan Ladd and Van Johnson.
You idiot. Alan Ladd and Van Johnson wouldn't kiss you.
They wouldn't?
No, they wouldn't.
Okay, I'll scratch their names out of my book.
See, Viola, I was right. Costello's not the guy for you. He has no brains, he has no looks, and he has no money.
I'm beginning to think you're right.
Just a minute. Now listen here, Abbott. If you don't stop crabbing me with girls, I'm going to hide your corkscrew.
No!
The plot thickens. Before it gets too thick, let's interrupt it for another reminder on a serious subject.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's our new singer, Hal Winters. Let's give Hal a nice big hand.
Nice big hand for Hal Winters.
Thanks a million thanks to you for everything that love could bring you brought me. Each tender love word you happen to say is hidden away in memory's bouquet. Thanks a million, for I remember too the tenderness that your caresses taught me. You made a million dreams come true, and so I'm saying thanks a million to you. For I remember too the tenderness that your caresses taught me. You made a million dreams come true, and so I'm saying thanks a million to you.
Costello, come over here. What are you doing out there in the hall?
Hey, Abbott, the employees of the network just raffled off a turkey, and my number was 1189643266592. And the fellow standing right next to me, he had number 1189643266591. So he said to me, I'll trade you my number 1189643265991 for your number 11896436592. So I traded him my number 1189643265991 for his number 1139643266592.
Well, who won the turkey?
One of the vice presidents with ticket number 3. But I don't care, Abbott. I don't like turkeys anyway. If all the turkeys in the world were laid end to end, that's the part I would get.
Well, you know, Lou, my wife is crazy about turkey. Today when she sat down at the table, she had a turkey neck.
Why don't you wear a muffler? Nobody would notice it.
What's that roll of paper under your arm?
That's a Thanksgiving play we're going to do for the people tonight, and I wrote it myself.
Well, what's the name of your play?
I call it The Brave Little Band of Pilgrims Who Landed on Honest John's Rock.
Yeah, dummy, that's Plymouth Rock.
How do you like that? Even in those days, Honest John was the only one that could get a Plymouth.
Never mind that. Let's get along with the play.
And now, for our hero Lou Costello's play, we take you back to the year 1620, where we find a brave little band of adventurers aboard the good ship Mayflower. The brave captain has eaten nothing but fish for 90 days. But that doesn't faze him. Let's listen to this fish phase.
First Mate John Alden Costello, where are you?
Here I am, Captain Miles Standish Abbott.
We've had some pretty tough weather. How's the ship holding up?
I have a report on the mizzenmast.
What about the mizzenmast?
It's been mizzen for 3 days.
Look out! There's a note stuck to that dagger. Aha! There's mutiny among the men. Read this note, First Mate John Alden Costello.
The first mate is a dirty landlubber, and he should drop dead. Which one of you swabs wrote this? I did, sir. Give that man 20 lashes and a box of Snickers.
I know what we'll do. We'll put the whole crew on bread and water.
Why pamper them? Let them eat the regular food. Captain Miles Standish Abbott, me thinks you made a mistake. When we left England, I think you forgot to untie the boat from the dock.
What makes you say that?
Just look behind us. We're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and people are still waving goodbye to us.
Look, John Alden Costello, there's land ahead. We should be proud. The Mayflower has broken all records for the Atlantic crossing.
Yes, we beat the Queen Elizabeth by 326 years.
Thank Columbus for showing us the way. He marked the route.
That's funny. I didn't see a Burma shave sign all the way across.
John Alden Costello, watch where you're steering the boat.
Don't worry, Captain Miles Standish Abbott. I know every reef along this coast. There's one now.
You idiot. That's the shore. Quick, drop the anchor.
Aye, aye, sir. Here she goes.
John Alden Costello, what are you doing down there in the water?
What are you asking me for? Why don't you ask the sound man? He just got soaked.
What are you doing down there in the water?
I forgot to let go of the anchor.
So the little boat Mayflower made the crossing. The shore was deserted. No Indians came down to greet them. It was 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. All the Indians were home in their wigwams. Listen. They're all trying to guess the mystery tune on Stop the Tom Tom. First Mate John Alden Costello drops the gangplank, and down the runway comes the beautiful Priscilla.
John Alden Costello, honey bun, just think of it. You and I are the first people to set foot on this new land. This virgin territory belongs to no one.
Priscilla, my love, are you sure this land belongs to no one? Look what it says on that rock.
What?
Los Angeles city limits.
John Alden Costello, our people are starving. We must go into the woods and get food for our little band of pilgrims.
Look over there, Abbott. There's a field of corn.
That's Indian corn. That's maize.
Do you think May would mind if we take a little?
What are you talking about?
You just said the corn belonged to May.
I did not. I said the corn was maize.
Then it's May's corn.
That's right.
What's wrong with finding May and asking for some of her corn?
I didn't say the corn belonged to me. I merely said the corn was maize.
How do you like that? Here it is, the year 1620, and this guy is starting a routine.
Stella, maize is Indian corn. The Indians grind their own corn.
Those Indians are smart. We pay riders to grind ours.
Oh, here comes an Indian. I'll be friendly and say hello to him.
How do you say hello to an Indian?
How?
I asked you first.
I just told you.
Told me what?
How?
If I knew how, I wouldn't be asking you.
What did you ask me?
How?
Now you've got it.
Got it. Now I'm really mixed up.
Stella, they may be after our scalps. Look, there's a note tied on that arrow.
I'll read it. Men, are you slowly losing your hair? See Chief Tomahawk and lose it all at once.
Costello, here comes an Indian, and he has his hand raised. Say something to him.
Chief, you can go now.
Me Scout. Me Chief Underwear.
Why do they call you Chief Underwear?
Me creep up on you. Step on my side and make way for Big Chief.
That must have been a super chief.
Watch some language, paleface. Meet him, Big Chief Running Water.
He looks like a big drip.
Chief, meet my friend John Alden Costello.
Are you gay? Are you gay?
Abbott, we gotta get better actors. You dummy, you're reading that wrong. That's Oak.
Listen, Tubby, I've got as much right to play an Indian as you have to play John Alden.
Oh, yeah? I'll have you know that my great-grandfather goes back to Martha Washington.
He does?
Yes, of course, he only goes back there when George isn't home.
Oh, who cares about that? I've got troubles of my own. Why, only this morning I was sending up some smoke signals to my sweetheart, Pocahontas.
And what happened?
Her father came along and put out my fire. Well, I've got to go now, and as we say in Indian, you fa da umstead amahawk to you.
And your father's busted tomahawk to you, too.
John Alden Costello, I haven't the courage to propose to the fair Priscilla. You, as my best friend, must do it for me.
You mean you want me to make love to the fair Priscilla for you?
Yes.
He doesn't know me very well, does he, folks?
Go into Priscilla's cabin, John Alden Costello. Propose to her. Propose to her for me. Tell her I'm a soldier. And if she refuses me, I'll go back to the bottle.
You mean you'll go back to the battle?
You go back to what you like, and I'll go back to what I like. Go ahead,
John Alden Costello, my little bouncing Boston baked bean.
Priscilla, my little tomato. Smother me with the ketchup of your kisses. When I'm close to you like this, something cold seems to spread all over me.
It does.
Yes, you dropped your popsicle down the back of my neck.
Pray tell me, why have you come here?
To propose to you for my dear friend Miles Standish Abbott, the poor broken-down guy. He couldn't come himself. He's all shot. He's practically falling apart. He can't even read a straight line anymore. And he's got plenty of company, too. Priscilla, my love. I'm not used to straight lines either. Priscilla, my love. You couldn't go for him, could you?
Are you proposing for him?
Sure.
It must be wonderful to have a true, devoted friend like you.
If Miles Standish Abbott had another friend like me, he wouldn't need any enemies.
Oh, why don't you speak for yourself, John Alden Costello, honey?
I'd love to marry you, Priscilla. But I can't. I'm already married.
Wait a minute, Costello. We're doing a story from history. And the history books say that John Alden was a bachelor.
That was before the historians found out about John's other wife.
Oh, let me out of it.
Don't go away, folks. Our madmen aren't through with you yet. Right now, they want you to hear this.
By doing our Thanksgiving play, we didn't get a chance to do our Sam Shovel detective mysteries tonight.
That's right, Abbott, but Sam Shovel will be back next Thursday night.
Well, what is your Sam Shovel story for next week?
Well, it's one of my liveliest cases. I call it the case of the chorus girls who went swimming in their underwear or down to the sea in slips.
Well, that's about all for tonight, Costello.
All except telling the folks about our swell gang that helps put this show together. Our writing staff is headed by Eddie Foreman with Paul Conlon, Pat Costello, Martin Ragaway, and Leonard Stern.
And let's not forget our capable producer, Charles Vander.
And let's not forget to say good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night to everybody in Patterson. Good night!
Listen each Thursday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station. Ladies and gentlemen.
Does that include me?
It certainly does. The secret word is water. W-A-T-E-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
I didn't know he was running. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. And if any of them say the secret word, the duck here will come down and pay him $100 in cash. The word tonight is water. Something I have very little contact with.
Groucho, we asked for some engaged couples just before we went on the air tonight.
Oh, how nice.
And just before we went on the air, Miss Dorothy Hildebrand and Mr. Eddie Kretz were selected to be on the show, and here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Miss Dorothy Hildebrand, eh? Mm-hmm. And Mr. Eddie Kretz, a boy and a girl, eh? Where are you from, Dorothy?
Los Angeles, Avenue 31.
And what is your hometown, Eddie?
Pomona.
Pomona, huh? What's your nickname, son? I'm sure your pals don't call you Mr. Kretz.
Well...
They wouldn't dare. Kretz means scratch, I think, in German. The old fellow says, well, I started from Kretz when I was a boy. Anyhow, it's a good, noble German-American name, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do they call you, Eddie?
Well, I have been called Hot Shoe.
Hot Shoe?
Me.
You mean you say Hot Shoe and somebody says Gesundheit? Why do they call you Hot Shoe? Are you,
well, I mean,
pretty lively with the speed?
Just don't like to stay in one place a long time, I guess.
Oh, you're a rover, in other words. Oh, a vagabond, huh? Song of the road and all that sort of thing? Huh? Do you have a pet name too, Dorothy?
Well, some of my friends call me Frosty.
Frosty?
Uh-huh.
Well, you can overcome that, you know. I understand you're engaged, Hotfoot. When is the fatal day?
Well, I haven't quite made up my mind yet.
That's what you think. Footy, you're living in a fool's paradise. And what about you, Frosty? How far has this engagement progressed?
Well, it depends upon the Army. If he's taken in, why, we'll have to wait till he's out. But if he's rejected, we'll get married right away.
Well, Hotfoot, I'm glad you finally made up your mind. Do you have a job, Frosty?
Yes, I do. I work in the county hospital as a cashier.
Cashier?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Do you have to pay to go to the hospital?
Oh, no. Just to get out.
I'm sure she's used that joke before. What sort of work do you do, Hotfoot?
I work for my dad as a mechanic.
What kind of a mechanic you?
Well, automobiles.
Repairing your father? Is that what you do? Have you given any thought to the obligations and responsibilities that are involved in matrimony?
Oh, yes. I'd have to stay home a little more at nights, I guess.
That's a kind of an ambiguous answer there. And I'll thank you not to be more specific. I'm curious about today's young lovers, Hotfoot. When you want some excitement, what do? Do you look at stereopticon slides?
Well, usually go for a ride on a motor.
Yeah, on a motorcycle? You call that exciting?
Well, I mean,
have you ever sat with a beautiful girl and looked at stereopticon slides? With all the lights turned out? I've often wondered what was on those slides. After you're married, Eddie, are you going to continue riding your motorcycle?
Yes, I thought it would.
You're not very sure, are you?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's what I...
Now, those are your plans at the moment?
Well, not at the moment. I mean...
You mean after you're trapped? Is this agreeable with you, Frosty?
Well, you won't have much time to be riding motor after we get married.
You're going to raise little putt-putts, huh? Well, you're a nice couple, and I wish you luck as you travel down the bumpy road of life. Both Frosty and Hotfoot. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. Now, right now, here's some advice I want you to listen to very carefully.
Friends, for the most comfortable ride of your life, drive the 1952 DeSoto. That's not just an idle boast, because the 1952 DeSoto, tops in safety and performance, is also especially designed for comfort. For instance, when you ride in a DeSoto, you sit on DeSoto's famous 3-pillow chair-high seats. These DeSoto seats give you full support, let you sit naturally and comfortably without cramped positions. In a DeSoto, you enjoy the smooth, even, no-bump ride of Oriflow shock absorbers. And thanks to DeSoto's extra headroom, even the tallest people can sit and ride comfortably. You'll also find that it's easier to drive this 1952 DeSoto. The mighty 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine provides you with surging power at the touch of your toe, more power than you'll ever use. And listen, you'll discover that because DeSoto full power steering works for you all the time, it takes all the work out of driving and parking. Long trip or short, it's less work driving a DeSoto. Stop in at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. Make the 5-mile trial in either the mighty DeSoto Fire Dome 8 or the brilliant DeSoto Power Master 6. Discover the unsurpassed pleasure of driving a DeSoto. And don't forget, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the low-priced car most like high-priced cars.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. From our list of 20 categories, you selected number 19, which is sporting terms. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
15.
Talk it up.
15.
No secret there. 15. In what sport is the expression touche used?
Sword fighting.
Well, that's close enough. Fencing.
And you're off to a good start. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your 35 will you bet now?
Okay.
30.
All right. In what sport is the expression lob used? L-O-B. Talk it over and take a guess if you don't know. Take a guess. Well, you should have tried anyhow. It's tennis.
You have $5.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Here's your third question. How much of the 5 will you try? Now, don't be discouraged.
Half of it.
Half.
2.5.
2.5. In what sport are the expressions dribble and jump ball used?
Basketball.
That's right. Now you have $7.5. You now have $7.5, and it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
I don't bet at all.
In what sport is the expression squeeze play used?
Baseball. Not football.
No, baseball. Well, you should have known that.
Oh, that's...
National pastime. Well, nobody leaves here broke. So we're going to give you one more question, and if you get this right, you're going to leave here with $25. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? General Grant is right. Give him the $25. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealer House.
Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a
Which
house.
do you like best, dealers or dealers?
I hadn't really given that much thought.
Well, think about it, Fadiman.
All right, I will. While I'm thinking, I'd like to say that just before we went on the air, we selected a housewife from our studio audience, and her partner is a businessman, Mr. Arthur Laveau. Folks, would you come in here, please, and meet Groucho Marx? I think I like dealer.
You do. Well, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mrs. Muriel Stetson, they say you're pretty tall. How tall are you, Muriel?
Oh, I'm 6 foot and 1/4 inch.
You're 6 feet, and are you...
That's without shoes.
That's without shoes, huh? Well, are you frequently without shoes?
Occasionally. I love to go without shoes.
Do you? Well, hand them over. I'll wear them, huh?
Really?
Well, I'm sure the quality is every inch as good as the quantity.
Thank you.
What a sickening thing to say to anybody. Arthur Laveau, eh?
Yes.
Is that the way you pronounce it, Laveau?
Laveau.
Do you like dealers better or dealer?
Well, dealers.
Dealer. Well, that would go with Laveau. Laveau, it sounds like a cow pulling her foot out of the mud. What kind of a moniker is Laveau? Or is that a perfume?
It's supposed to be a French name.
A French name. Let's see. Where are you from? Arturo?
New York City.
New York City, huh? Well, is that part of France? French Quarter?
No.
What is a French Quarter? That's 2 francs, isn't it? Who do you work for, Arturo?
Pan American World Airways and Compañía Mexicana de Aviación.
Oh, I'm the same to you. And do you have a job, Muriel?
Yes, I model clothes for tall girls, for tall fashions of California, and tall togs.
Oh, tall togs, huh? Tall togs out of school? Is that what you call it, huh? Why is it you tall girls always marry skinny little runts? How big is your husband, for example?
Well, he's a growing boy. He's 6'9", and he weighs 270 pounds.
Say, he's a big little runt, isn't he, huh? Now, Mr. Laveau, since you're connected with the airlines, do you do any flying yourself? I mean on a plane, of course.
No more. I am more concerned with the study of flying saucers.
Oh, well, how long have you been interested in flying saucers?
About 20 years.
Where do you think they come from?
Well, there are several theories on that score. Some believe that they're from the solar system. The rest of us who subscribe to extraterrestrial visitors think that they are from another system entirely.
What kind of characters do you think are in these sources?
Well, physically, we subscribe, by we I mean those of us who go into this, we subscribe to the theory that they are probably humanoid in appearance. By humanoid, I mean that they will resemble us structurally. Physiologists have concluded that the human figure is the best adapted for intelligent life.
You're referring to your own, of course. Huh?
No. For example, the greatest medium to transmit thought into artifacts, things that you can make and use, tools, is the hand, the opposed thumb. No other form of life seems to have that. So it is reasonable to assume then that while they may be reptilian, or they might be even a form of insect life, still they would resemble us in that they would have arms and hands.
Well, you think as soon as they get a thumb, they'll get in touch with us? Well, what is all this galloping crockery doing here, do you think?
I believe they are watching us, evaluating our civilization, trying to cope with the problem of how to get in touch with us.
Well, with the shape the world's in, if they're smart, they'd be over bothering Venus instead of us. Well, I don't know if there are any sources or not, but they certainly make interesting conversation. Now, folks, tune in again next week. Same time, same station. When our subject will be, is that funny little line across Panama Canal really a canal? Or is the Earth really inhabited? Well, I must say it's been interesting talking to you two, and I hope you win a reasonable amount of money in the quiz. That's about as guarded a statement as I expect to make tonight. Right now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question.
The engaged couple went broke, so these people have a clear field. The secret word is still water.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can put you $20. You selected famous men of history. Each of these men played a prominent part in changing the history of his country. I'll give you the man's name, and you tell what country he's from. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
15, all right?
Talk up, kids.
15?
17.
17? Okay.
$17. All right. Richelieu was a famous man of what country?
France.
France is right.
You're on your way. You have $37.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of your 37 will you risk this time?
35.
Paul von Hindenburg was a soldier of what country?
Germany.
Germany is correct.
You now have $72.
How much of the 72 are you going to try?
70.
Okay.
70.
70, all right. Benito Juarez was the leader of what country?
Mexico.
Mexico is correct.
You've now climbed to $142.
This is your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
$142.
Have you discussed this?
Well, that's all right with me.
Okay. From what country was Oliver Cromwell?
Great Britain.
England is okay. We'll decide it.
And you'll wind up with $284.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. You like dealers or dealers? have you thought about it?
Yes, I've.
And what is your conclusion?
I like dealer, I think.
Dealer, you like dealer?
Yeah, I like dealer.
So in the future, I'll say dealers.
Groucho, we have a couple of people with interesting jobs for you now. Mrs. Daisy Tate was chosen because of her occupation, and Mr. Russell K. Hart is a special guest. So, folks, would you come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome, folks, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Dealers, say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mrs. Daisy Tate, You're very pretty, Mrs. Tate. Shall we have a Tate-a-Tate?
All right.
Where are you from, Daisy?
Selma, Alabama.
Selma? Did you come with a banjo on your knee, Selma?
No, but I know the man that did.
You did? Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Daisy. We haven't had anybody from Alabama here for quite a spell. By the way, you're not running for the vice presidency, are you, Daisy?
No.
You're not, huh? Oh, you can't be too careful these days, you know. Some of these candidates will do anything to get on television. Now, Daisy, does a gentleman from down south ever ask a lady her age?
Never.
Well, I'm a skunk from up north. How old are y'all, Daisy?
79.
79? Well, you're the prettiest 79 I've seen, Daisy. Now, Russell K. Hart, eh? You'll forgive me, sir, if I devoted my attention to this charming little lady. Oh, brother, cotton wouldn't melt my mouth, would it? Russell K. Hart, what is the K for?
Crumb.
Did you say crumb? Is that whole wheat or pumpernickel? Where are you from, Crumb? And where do you crumb from?
From Illinois.
Illinois, yeah? You running for president?
No, sir.
Let's see, you got a hole in your shoe? That's how we tell nowadays. Are you married, Mr. Hart?
Yes, I am.
Oh, then in your case, it's 2 hearts and 3/4 time, eh?
No, 3 hearts.
Sorry, I'll bid 4 spades. How did you meet Mrs. Hart, Russ?
Well, it was in the 8th grade in grammar school. I sat behind her. And she never liked me very much because I used to put her pigtails in the inkwell. And I didn't pay very much attention to her for the next 4 years. And then when I was a senior in high school, I dated her. She was living in the old soldiers' home at the time.
And you were after her for her pension? Is that what?
No, you see, her father worked there.
Oh.
And,
dipping pigtails or something?
No, he was the chief clerk in the treasurer's office.
Oh. Well, you know what you were doing, eh? Now, Daisy Fadiman, Mr. Fadiman says you have an interesting occupation. What do you do? Are you a steeplejack?
No, I'm a model.
A model? Oh, I beg your pardon, Daisy. That was just an old northern reflex. You're a model, you say?
Yes.
What kind of a model?
From portraiture to commercial, illustration.
Commercial portraits?
Yes, for instance, in the latest home journal, my last work I was a married woman with a son that I was wild about. And I saw that he was going to marry a woman that I didn't think he should marry. But he married her.
This is fiction, eh?
Mm-hmm.
This is the story
This is a story.
I see.
And finally, my son had to go to New York. He just couldn't stand the gap.
Was he a fisherman? Now, Fadiman says you're a special guest, Mr. Hart. Why is that? Are you a model, too?
No, I guess it's because I'm the mayor of Santa Monica.
Really? You look so honest, Mr. Hart. On behalf of the 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers, I welcome you and present you with this key to a new DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
Thank you very much.
That is the key. Now, all you have to do now is go out and buy the car. Now, Mr. Hart, how long have you been mayor of Santa Monica?
About 18 months.
18 months. I'm a babe in the woods about such things as politics. Maybe you can straighten me out on a few things. For example, after you're mayor, will you be an ambassador in Mexico? What kind of an administration do you have? Is your city pretty clean?
Yes, it's really very clean.
In other words, since you've been mayor, you've been cleaning up. Is that it? I'll confess, Your Honor.
Well, to tell you the truth, Groucho, all I receive in a monetary way for being mayor of the city of Santa Monica is $50 a month. The city council is made up of a group of 7 professional businessmen who are elected to follow out the good old American system of a representative government. And they're taking their turn on the city council as a civic duty. And certainly not for the $50 a month that they get out of it.
Well, it's wonderful to hear that, Mayor. I think you deserve a lot of credit. And if all the politicians listening took a page out of your book, you could be sure of one thing, Mayor. You'd never get those pages back. Well, could you describe Santa Monica for our eastern listeners? For example, just where is Santa Monica?
Well, Santa Monica is a community 2 miles square. It is bounded on 3 sides by the city of Los Angeles and on the 4th side by the Pacific Ocean.
In other words, you're between the devil and the deep blue sea. Tell us some more about Santa Monica. It sounds like a very interesting little town.
Well, it is. It's a very beautiful community. It has a population of 75,000 people. We have fine public buildings, lovely churches, public schools, and we have 2 miles of the finest public beach in Southern California. So we have a lot of things out there. We think it's really a very fine place to live.
Oh, I think it is. A friend of mine saw your beach one day last summer when the fog lifted for a minute down there. Well, I've kidded you, Mayor Hart, but I want you to know we appreciate your coming down here tonight, and I'm sure you're a fine public official. And if you're ever investigated by Kefauver, my advice is buy a ticket to Mexico City. Right now, you two are going to play You Bet Your Life. Run you $20 and no more than our other couples, you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our second couple, Mr. Laveau and his partner, are ahead with $284.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected States of the Union. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? And talk right up, Daisy. You're a partner in this.
19.
How much?
$19.
All right. Lake Okeechobee, I guess it is. Okeechobee.
Okeechobee.
Okeechobee, huh? Well, I haven't been down there in 100 years, so I wouldn't know. It's one of the largest freshwater lakes in the United States. In what state is it located? Okeechobee. And if you don't know, take a guess.
New York.
Well, you're quite a ways off, Mayor. It's Florida.
Now have $1.
Now you're down to $1. Huh?
Might as well bet it all, hadn't we?
All right, remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. There's no telling how it'll come out, you know. You're going to bet the dollar. Franklin D. Roosevelt used to visit Warm Springs for treatment and rest. In what state is this located?
Georgia.
Georgia is correct.
Well, you now have $2.
Here's your third question. How much are the two?
Let's bet it all.
That's right.
Bet it all. Okay. Purdue, Wabash College, and Culver Military Academy are just 3 of the many institutions of higher education located in one state. What is the name of it?
Indiana.
Indiana is right.
Now you have $4.
It's your last chance to be the other couples. How much are you going to go for?
$4.
$4. Chesapeake Bay with its famous oysters, bisects, an eastern state. What is the name of the state?
Maryland.
Maryland is correct.
Well, they wind up with only $8.
Nobody leaves here with $8. I'm going to give you one more question, and this is for $17, which will bring your total up to $25. And no coaching, please. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What fruit is used in lemonade?
Lemon.
Lemons is right. Put it there, Daisy.
And, since these people wound up with only $8, that means that our second couple, Mr. Laveau and his partner, with $284, in just a minute get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
If the brakes of your car aren't behaving the way they should, if there's any question in your mind as to whether they're safe or not, then before another day goes by, get a thorough check of your brakes at the place where they know your car best, your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Their master technicians, brake experts, will, if necessary, remove the wheels of your car and give the drums, shoes, and hydraulic system a thorough inspection. They'll adjust and equalize the brakes scientifically and fill the master cylinder with the correct brake fluid. As a final check, they'll test for safe, smooth, straight-line stops. It'll be an efficient, reliable job. Count on that. And count on receiving fast, courteous service, too, at a fair price. When your car leaves your DeSoto Plymouth dealer's service shop, you'll know your brakes are right. You'll drive with a feeling of security. So have your brakes checked tomorrow, where you'll see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Well, here comes Mr. Laveau and his partner, the winning couple, all set for the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. Groucho? Right in here.
Well, you'll be able to buy a lot of sauces if you win this money tonight. Here we go for $1,000. I give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. In Shakespeare's Henry IV, Henry V, and Merry Wives of Windsor, there appears a cowardly braggart whose good humor and wit have endeared him to millions the world over. For $1,000, I want you to identify this genial fellow. Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
We hope it is pistol.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer is false stand.
Oh!
So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz?
$284 in the quiz.
Well, congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Keep your wits and windshield clear. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here in the living room we find Sade and young Russell. The former has just delivered a 5-minute speech, and we're in time to hear the summing up. Listen.
So let's not argue. You're home from school early, your chums are busy with stuff to where you haven't any dates with anybody. It's drizzling outside and you can't go over in Tapman's vacant lot and play, so there's no reason on earth why we shouldn't get after this bookcase.
After that long oration, I guess I haven't got much to say.
Not a word.
Uh-huh.
I've already tossed a sofa pillow on the floor for somebody to sit on. Whoever piles up the trash we don't want can sit on the floor while the other fella stands up.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the system.
I'll give you your choice. Sit or stand. What you want?
I'm the gentleman and you're the lady, so I'll volunteer to stand and you can use the sofa pillow.
All right, fine. Well, let's not waste another second.
Yeah.
$15 trillion as the phone rings the minute I'm on the floor. Never seen it to fail.
I'll answer it if it rings.
And chat a quarter of an hour. I'm up to your tricks, Dr. Sleech.
That reminds me of a humorous anecdote Oyster Cracker's cousin Lombard.
Save it for some other time. Open the bookcase door and let's start. We'll work this like we always do. Hand me down trash from the top shelf and we'll decide what's to be done with stuff. And we can't afford to dawdle.
Well, sir, the first thing I see...
Don't tell me the first thing you see. Just hand trash down.
Well, gotta hand trash down one article at a time, don't I?
You don't need to comment on every article. Every article's got to come down. We'll clear the whole bookcase and then put back the books we want.
Well, I understand the system.
Well, you don't act like you do. I say we can't afford to dawdle. And there's a lot
Okay. Here's a pamphlet called Dr. Frumble, Scientific Chemist, who compound the famous wild raspberry bitters for frantic, nervous, run-down people, are willing to bet $1,000 you don't know your own stomach. Well, take it.
Are we being a smart aleck, Russell?
No.
Well, let's not be a smart aleck.
No.
Hand me handfuls of books, please.
Okay.
Now, we must be especially careful not to throw away stuff of Gov's. He screams like a panther if leaflets and trash he's saving gets thrown in the garbage.
Uh-huh.
This pamphlet business isn't anything he wants, is it?
I'm not sure.
No. It was tossed on the front porch by a bill passer last summer. You're the party I expect that tucked it away here in the bookcase.
I may have been.
Not much doubt of it, I don't imagine. What's the attraction in bookcases and buffet drawers, I wonder? The other day I found a hinge off in a door and a caster off in a swivel chair or something on top of my good hat in the bottom buffet drawer.
I think I can tell you the attraction.
More books, please.
Here's quite a bundle.
Pictures mint, I see.
Yeah, I put it in here temporarily.
Everything's temporarily around this ranch. Suppose I temporarily left the beds unmade 6 months.
Good joke.
Isn't it?
No, but I'll explain.
More books, please.
I'm slowly accumulating an armful.
Well, why aren't you rapidly accumulating an armful?
We don't want to take chances on letting any drop on your head.
Our friend the Diamondback Rattler again.
What?
Here's that same old book, Our Friend the Diamondback Rattler again. Every time we straighten this bookcase around, we find it. How does it get back? Who did it belong to in the first place?
Well, sir, there we have quite a story, Mom.
Everything is quite a story.
Our friend the Diamondback Rattler was originally the property of Bluetooth Johnson. In fact, if you'll take the trouble to glance at the flyleaf, you'll notice the inscription, to Edwin Johnson from Grandma on his 7th birthday.
Well, I don't believe I'll take the trouble. I'm throwing it off to one side with the other rubbish. See that Bluetooth gets it back and keeps it.
Oh.
Does Gov want this? I marched in 48 parades in a single weekend and lived to tell the tale.
He wants anything that's got anything to do with parades.
I guess that's right.
Ha, ha, ha.
What'd you find?
I found an example of little Charlie Husher's work.
Yes?
Half of a graham cracker.
Oh, my.
Well, that's tiny children for you. You take tiny children, they're just real high.
What's little Charlie Husher's work? Didn't you find that graham cracker on the top shelf?
No, the next to the top.
Well, how could Charlie climb that high?
I'm sure I don't know.
Charlie Husher couldn't climb that high.
We must remember that little Charlie is going on 7 years old.
Little Charlie was never in this living room in his life without me and his mother present. And I know good and well one of us would have noticed if he'd attempted to climb.
I hope you're not pointing the finger of accusation at me.
Hand me more books.
Also, I hope you're not pointing the finger of accusation at any of my dear old chums.
More books, more books. Listen to us talk.
Because if you are pointing the finger of accusation at me or my dear old chums, I wish to respectfully point out the teeth marks in this graham cracker, which are the teeth marks of a small child, and not the teeth marks...
Yes, Russell, I don't care. Put your graham cracker on the floor with this other rubbish.
No, but if the stain of dishonor soils my character...
Hoity-toity, Gertrude McGrady. Well, this I imagine Gov wants to keep. The efficiency of the Pennsylvania lockstep compared with the Red Bank, New Jersey Giant Stride.
Oh, sure. Book on parade. No, but about this graham cracker with the tiny teeth marks of a small child on it, I have only this much to say.
Oh, the muscle book again.
Huh?
An exhaustive study of the muscles of the forearm. Well, I've thrown this book in the garbage box 3 separate and distinct times to my knowledge. Who fishes it out and brings it back again?
The one you got there is a different copy, Mom.
Yeah?
Property of Raymond Searles.
Well, how do we happen to have it?
Well, sir, if you'll happen to give it a glance at the flyleaf, you'll see the inscription, I love you even more than I done last summer, Marion.
Who's Marion? Raymond, sweetie?
No connection. Raymond found that in Miller Park, directly in front of the lion's cage in at the zoo. It was open at that tender place, I love you even more than I done last summer, Marion. And Raymond couldn't help wondering if perhaps these two young lovers hadn't threw themselves to the lions romantically.
Oh.
And romantically brought their love affair to a tragic end. Get the connection?
Well, how do we happen to have the book?
Raymond traded it to me for a romantic book I picked up.
What was that?
Fireside fun to be had with cube root problems or exciting adventures in arithmetic.
That's romantic?
Inscribed on the flyleaf in pink ink was I decided I like Harry better than William, Sam, or Pete. And you, Emmett, I like best of all.
Pretty romantic.
Yes.
More books?
Here's some books.
And also a tennis ball, an earmuff, and a clothespin.
I'll come right out and admit I'm responsible for the tennis ball being in the bookcase.
You wouldn't have anything to say about the earmuff and the clothespin?
No.
So maybe in the middle of the night, interlopers slink in and put junk in here.
Sarcasm, huh?
Yes.
I understand Oyster Cracker's cousin Lombard is a great hand at sarcasm.
More books, please.
He can be sarcastic in such a sly way, his victims don't realize they've been insulted till hours later.
Anybody want this leaflet? Think of your toes as sweet flowers in the garden and give them pretty names, and you will drop off to sleep quickly and beautifully.
It's mine, but I don't want it.
Where'd you get it?
A fellow passed them out free to guys getting their hair cut in at the Butler House Hotel barber shop one time.
There was some man passing out advertisements in the Hamiltons the other day, and he looked exactly like that Dubuque, Iowa fella Gov brought home for supper 2 years or so ago. Gus Fuss. I was startled at the resemblance. I grabbed Miss Denbottom's arm, and I says, for gracious sakes, I says, see that man over there? I believe... Well, how's the reading?
I forgot I own this book.
Pretty interesting, is it?
Yes, all about fish and how they got no sense.
Shall I pick up a book and read too?
Oh, excuse me, Mom. But listen to what it says on this flyleaf.
Uh-huh.
I found the dear crushed violets you concealed in my mashed potatoes and gravy, Howard, and also the little bracelet of seashells.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to find any dear crushed violets in my mashed potatoes and gravy.
How about seashells?
Guys liable to chomp down on them and snap 9/10 of their teeth off.
Uh-huh.
By George, when I'm 39 years old and playing with the notion of marrying some woman or other, I hope she don't decide to put any violets and seashells in my mashed potatoes.
Where are you now? Third shelf from the bottom?
Yeah.
Well, the 2 bottom shelves aren't so cluttered up.
You can finish them by yourself.
What?
You can finish them by yourself.
Oh, well, Liz, you always do.
Yeah, I always do.
I've got supper to start.
Uh-huh.
Gov will be home directly?
Yeah.
You going to be hungry?
Yeah.
Oh, oodly-boodle, look out the window how it's drizzling now.
Hmm.
Well, you work along nice and get finished.
All right.
Take your time, be careful and thorough.
Yeah.
But don't go to sleep on the job.
Yeah.
Or get interested in reading.
Yeah.
Hello, Duffy's. Where do you like me to eat? Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Tonight, CLifton Fadiman. Yeah, the mental brain from the radio. Huh? Is he the guy who says what? Madam, what is your problem? No, Duffy, you're thinking of Mark Anthony. This is the guy that asked the questions on information, please. Very brainy guy. Huh? Yeah, maybe you're right at that, Duffy. What brains does it take to ask questions? Yeah. Well, anyways, we're stuck with him. Yeah. He's coming down to lecture to the Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society. Well, don't worry, Duffy. I'm writing the lecture for him, so he can't louse us up. The crowd here? The usual gang of crumbs. Yeah, but, oh, by the way, Moriarty just come in. He's very sore at the government. Yeah, for canceling last year's income tax. Well, you remember when he filled out his return, he chiseled so much he didn't pay nothing? Now he figures he's losing money. Yeah. Well, I'll call you back, Duffy. Okay.
Welcome to Duffy's. Come on in and meet Finnegan, Eddie the waiter, Miss Duffy, Tito Kazar, Peter Van Steeden and his orchestra, our special guest tonight, CLifton Fadiman, and Archie himself, Ed Gardner.
Hey, Mr. Archie?
Yeah?
Well, what happened to the sign?
What sign, Eddie?
The watch your hats and coats sign.
There it is, only I rephrased the words so that CLifton Fadiman will feel more at home here. Read it.
Let me see. Maintain scrutiny of thy chapeaus and hats. Nice and confusing, ain't it?
Yes, isn't it? It's a quotation from Shakespeare. Did you ever see any of Shakespeare's plays, Eddie?
One, As You Like It.
Well?
I didn't like it.
Oh, I don't don't know. Maybe he had an off day that day.
Hello, Arch.
Well, Clifton Finnegan. Hello, Finnegan.
Arch, look at this, boy, my God. A poem by Crackpot O'Toole of Fortune. Dedicated right at me personal.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. What's the poem, Finnegan?
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Some men is fools and morons, and some is even judge. But you, dear Clifton, combine them all. Nature has gave you the woods. Well, the guy must really like me, huh?
Yeah, he must. You may not know it, Finnegan, but that poem is written in pure cubic centimeter.
Centimeter? You mean he's going to charge me for it?
No, Finnegan, if he charged you, you'd have to pay at least a nickel a meter.
Oh.
Don't forget, that's an original crackpot.
Archie?
Oh, yes, Miss Duffy.
Did you see my Dostoevsky?
Your what?
My Dostoevsky.
Is it animal, vegetable, or mineral?
No, it's a book.
Miss Duffy, what would you be doing with a book?
Well, CLifton Fadiman's coming down here, and I don't want him to catch me not reading.
Well, naturally,
You see, if everybody stopped reading, authors would stop writing. And if authors stopped writing because nobody was reading, Mr. Fadiman, being a critic, couldn't read what authors were writing, and that would put an end to his writing about reading. And the poor man would be out of a job.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Or to put it another way, if authors write and people
Please,
don't read...
Miss Duffy, I don't think I care to go around again. Dostoevsky. Who ever heard of Dostoevsky?
Oh, you probably never even heard of Shakespeare.
Miss Duffy, not alone have I heard of Shakespeare, I happen to know Bacon, the man who plagiarized him.
Who?
Sir Francis Bacon, the man who wrote every word that Shakespeare ever wrote.
Archie, do you mean to stand there and say that the greatest writer that ever wrote didn't?
Yes, I do. Shakespeare, the so-called bard of Stratford Avenue. I maintain that he is strictly a phony.
Archie, how can you say such a thing about a man who's too dead to defend himself?
Miss Duffy, you dig him up and I'll tell it to him to his face.
Well, wait a minute, Archie. Maybe we're talking about not the same Shakespeare. What was the first name of yours?
William.
Yeah, that's the one, all right.
Of course, William Randolph Shakespeare. Besides, Miss Duffy, when you talk about guys like Shakespeare, it ain't necessary to mention their first names. Everybody knows who you mean.
I differ with you.
In what respect?
How about Washington?
Miss Duffy, if I went up to a strange guy and said Washington, I'm sure the guy would know that I meant George.
Not if he was selling train tickets.
If I was buying a train ticket, I would say Washington, D.C.
Then why don't you say Shakespeare, D.C.?
Because I ain't going to Shakespeare, D.C.
Why not?
Because I can't get a room. Look, Miss Duffy, I got CLifton Fadiman coming down here to read my lecture to Mrs. Piddleton and them dames, and I got a lot on my mind. pending our waiting for the arrival of CLifton Fadiman, Mrs. Pilton, and Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society, you'll be simply enchanted to know that we will now hear a song by Mr. Tito Gazar, Mexico's answer to the Andrews sisters. What is the song, Tito?
I will sing that beautiful song entitled Si Bonet.
Well, that's your own prerogative. Go ahead and sing it. Ladies, will please swoon.
Si Bonet de mi sueño, si no oyes la queja de mi voz. Si Bonet, si no vienes, ay, moriré de amor. En mi si Bonet, si no vienes, ay, moriré de amor. Oye el eco de mi canto de Cristo. Si Bonet, yo te quiero, yo me muero por tu amor. Al arrullo de tu palma pienso en ti. Si mi sueño entero con ansia mi cadey.
Simply bravado. Mucho groucho.
Say, Mr. Archie, did that Mr. Fadiman drink coffee?
Coffee? I guess so. Eddie, why?
Well, we're running a little short.
Well, add some chicory to what you got.
Okay. But chicory added to chicory is going to taste a little like...
Well, he'd probably be reading a book anyway. He won't notice it.
Oh, Archie, dear boy.
Well, Mrs. Piddleton, how are you? You're looking great.
Archie, you know I look a fright.
All right. What makes you look like such a fright?
Oh, I've had a terrible experience. Terrible. I had to come down here by subway.
Good gracious. The subway? How ghastly.
Well, there was no alternative. You see, my limousine is hors de combat.
Yeah, what year?
Hors de combat, Archie, a French expression, out of action.
Oh, you mean like OPA?
OPA?
An American expression. Out of gas. That subway must be simply livid for one to ride in, huh?
Oh, yes. One encounters such a bourgeois class of society.
Oh, simply bourgeois, yeah. Makes one sorry one went to the trouble of ducking under the turnstile.
Archie, then you have been in the subway.
Only in London. Of course, over there we refer to it as the lift. But So much for conversation. I'm glad to see you.
Well, it's a delight to be here again all the same. Except poor Mr. Duffy. He seems to have aged considerably.
Mrs. Piddleton, that's the moose head you're looking at.
Moose head? Oh, Archie. Archie, I'm afraid you'll have to remove it.
Why?
My doctor's orders. I'm allergic to stuffed animals. Oh, yes, Mrs. Gribb. We're waiting for you and Mrs. Allen. Well, Mr. Fadiman isn't here yet. Clifton Fadiman. Oh, my dear, I can't help it. There's a moose here, and it does something to my hay fever. I should do what? It already has been shot. Oh, yes, he's speaking tonight on literature. Don't Dr. Moose. Clifton Fadiman. Well, we'll wait for you, darling. Goodbye.
Hello? Oh, well, thank you. Mrs. Piddleton, the operator says Gesundheit. Eddie, take Mrs. Piddleton into the kitchen. There, she won't smell the moose.
I see what you mean.
What, Miss Duffy?
Ain't that Mr. Fadiman coming in?
Oh, sure, Clifton Fadiman. Well, if it ain't me old pal, Clifton Fadiman. Hell, you Kip, old boy, old boy.
I'm looking for someone named Archie.
Just a minute. I'm Archie. You had the pleasure of meeting me just a short months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm wearing my wife's glasses.
Your wife's glasses? Oh, that's different. I can't expect your wife to know me. By the way, Mr. Fadiman, this is Miss Duffy.
Plaza 59970.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you're always asking questions, so I thought I'd give you the answer first.
Miss Duffy, Mr. Fadiman is an intellectual. He don't go out with dames.
Well, that intellectual I ain't. In fact, when it comes to dames, my taste is positively lowbrow.
Plaza 599. See you later.
Oh, please, Miss Duffy. Mr. Fadiman just came here. Kip, by the way, speaking of books...
Now, who was?
I was. Speaking of books, did you ever read any of the works of the famous poet and forger, Crackpot O'Toole?
O'Toole. What sort of things does he write?
Mostly sonnets and bum checks. That's him. Sonnets and bum checks. That's him over there tilting the pinball machine. Hey, Crackpot. Yeah, Crackpot, come here. Clifton Fadiman, meet Crackpot O'Toole. Crackpot, meet Clifton Fadiman. You two guys should have a lot in common.
Oh, you're a forger, Mr. Fadiman?
Crackpot, Mr. Fadiman is from information, please. Kip, you'll pardon Crackpot's ignorancy. He's been upstate, up the river, Ossining.
Oh, you mean in the clink?
In the clink, yeah, in a manner of speaking, yes. We can talk about it, can't we, Crackpot?
Why not? It was nothing. Only a few years for forgery. I made a little innocent mistake when I signed a check. I put 2 T's in Vanderbilt. The whole thing was laughable.
Kip, someday if you get a chance, I'd like you to get a look at Crackpot's adaptation of Shakespeare.
Crackpot? You rewrote Shakespeare?
Yep.
I rewrote 23 of his plays. How long did it take you? 23 minutes.
23 minutes, Crackpot? I bet you Shakespeare himself didn't even write it that fast.
Well, after all, Arch, I got an edge on the guy. I'm ambidextrous.
What's that?
Two-handed dexterous. I can write with both hands.
Mr. Fadiman, couldn't you use crackpot on information, please, sometime?
But, Archie, we have a poetry expert, John Kieran.
Granted, but suppose you ask Kieran to quote you something, say, from Lord Byron. Could he do it?
Of course. He could quote whole stanzas. Could crackpot do that?
Not alone could crackpot quote whole stanzas, he could give you the whole poem in Byron's own handwriting.
Thanks, Arch.
Okay, crackpot. Yeah?
Middleton wants to know when the lecture's going to start.
Oh, any minute, Eddie. Go over and talk to her. Keep her happy for a second.
I've been talking to her. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. I say Gesundheit, she said thank you. It's pretty monotonous conversation.
Well, talk to her anyways. Are you ready for the lecture, Mr. Fadiman?
All ready.
Okay, you ready, Danny?
Ready. Ladies and gentlemen.
Just a second, Mr. Fadiman. What's right is right. Danny started first. Besides, you ain't studied the lecture that I wrote for you.
You wrote a lecture for me?
You seem amazed. I'll go over it with you in a minute. Mr. Fadiman, leave us get started, huh?
Archie, did I hear you correctly? You wrote a lecture for me?
That's right.
And you expect me to read it?
Don't worry, there ain't many big words. And what ones there is, I wrote out in capital type. Here it is.
But I brought my own lecture.
Your own lecture? Look, Fadiman, suppose you was in my spot. Would you let every Tom, Dick, and Harry come in off the street and read his own stuff? How do I know it's clean? How do I know it makes sense?
Well, I was just going to talk about the rudimentary forms of iambic pentameter.
You see? Listen, in this business, we got to protect ourselves.
Well, all right, I'll read your speech, but there's one thing.
What?
If I get fired from information, please, can I eat here?
That I wouldn't advise. Now, please, leave us get going, huh?
Oh, Archie, when is the lecture going to start?
Any minute, Mrs. Middleton. Mrs. B, this is CLifton Fadiman.
Oh, Mr. Fadiman, I want you to know how seriously happy it makes us girls to have a man like you talk to us.
Mrs. Middleton. These days, it makes girls deliriously happy if any man talks to them. Leave us get on with the lecture, huh? Trumpets, please. Thank you. Your man is improving, Mr. Van Steeden. Thank you. Ladies, I introduce a man who needs no introduction. So, without further introducing him, I present you Mr. CLifton Fadiman. A lecture, Mr. Fadiman.
Thank yous, one and all. Ladies of the Lord Byron Ladies Literary Society, my subject for tonight is contemptuary literature. I will discuss contemptuary literature from literature in the Middle Ages to books for children. Literature is divided into 3 parts: fiction, non-fiction, and... Archie, where's the third part?
I couldn't think of it. I went nuts. Go on.
Literature was started by the cavemen who used to chop out stories in stone with an axe, hence the term hack writer. This, however, was very hard on the circulating libraries, as people got tired carrying home them stone books. Besides, many times the stones would fall on the author, crushing him, hence the expression pulp writer. This led to the invention of sheepskin, which up till then had only been used for diplomas. Literature has gave birth to more writers than any other profession. Namely, among whom are Shakespeare, Bacon, Dickens, and Sir Walter Lipton. Among the French writers are Voltaire, Charlemagne, and Francho Tone. Say, Archie, you left out Mademoiselle from Armentières.
That's a different kind of literature.
Now, among the American writers is also a great assortment of literary authors. Just as music has its 3 B's, Bach, Bach, and Bookhoven, American literature has its 3 O's: O'Neill, Odette, and O'Toole. Next comes the Russian writers, among who is Tolstoy, Rimsky-Korsakov, Dostoevsky, and the greatest Russian of them all. Oh, I can't.
Go ahead, Fadiman.
Ivanhoe. Archie, I can't go on with this. My reputation will be ruined. Ladies, the lecture is over. I thank you.
Oh, Mr. Fadiman.
Yes, Mrs. Fiddleton.
I've heard you speak many times. I've read every word you've ever written. Your books, your reviews in the New Yorker magazine.
Yes?
And there's one thing I want to tell you. In my personal opinion, this is the first time you've ever made sense.
To leave Duffy's for the evening, but let's all meet again at Duffy's next week when our guest will be Monty Woolman.
Remember, Duffy's where your late mate date. Yeah, Duffy, next week, Monty Woolley. Hey, yeah, the guy with the beard. Huh? The hot weather? Don't worry, Duffy. Nature takes care of them things. In the summer, he sheds.
6 as Riley. Although holding down a job and raising a family is no easy assignment, it's something a man with average intelligence can usually contend with. But this is the story of Chester A. Riley, whose nervous system around this time of the year begins to show signs of strain. It's just after dinner, and we find Riley about to stretch out comfortably in his easy chair and relax.
Oh, gosh, you look worn out, Daddy.
Boy, am I tired. Lucky my underwear is starched or I'd cave in.
Oh, wait, Pop, don't sit down there.
Why not?
Well, I've got my model airplane there, and I can't move it.
Oh, okay. I'll sit in this chair.
Oh, don't sit there, Daddy. My hitting.
Don't sit here. Don't sit there. I work all day to make my ends meet, and at night I can't even sit down. It's time you kids realize I'm entitled to a little respect around here.
Well, I'll move the knitting, Daddy.
Never get any rest if I hadn't married your mother. She's the only one around here that realizes how hard I work all day. And when I come home, I like to sit down and relax.
Wait, don't sit down. I want you to fix the pilot light in the stove.
I fixed that pilot light yesterday.
Well, it went out again. The kitchen's full of gas.
Impossible. I don't smell any gas.
Of course not. How do you expect to smell gas from way out here in the living room?
With my nose, distance don't mean a thing.
Come on. Stop making excuses. It'll only take a minute to fix it.
I can't do it now, Peg. I've got other things to do.
What other things?
Well,
Daddy promised to get the chest with my summer clothes down from the attic.
That's right. I got to get Babs' chest down from the attic.
Let's do it now, Daddy.
I can't do it now. I got to fix the pilot light.
Well, come on and fix it then. Oh, and while you're in the kitchen, fix that screen, will you? The flies are coming in droves.
Stop worrying about the flies. If they do come in, the gas will knock them off.
You promised to do a little work around the house tonight.
Little work? Look what I've got to do. Fix the gas, fix the screen, bring down the trunk.
Empty the incinerator.
Empty the incinerator. Another town he heard from. All I do is work around here. I do more work at home for free than I do at the plant for pay.
Oh, stop it, Riley. You're working yourself up into a frenzy over nothing.
Well, do you blame me for being a nervous wretch? Other men, when they come home from the plant, it's a change, but not for me. At the plant, I got that mean foreman nagging me. And here I got...
You got what?
Okay, I'll fix the pilot light. Junior, go to the closet, get me my gas mask. But I'm warning you, Peg. My nerves can't take this much longer. A human being can only stand so much. And the same goes for me. Pass the salt, Riley. What? I said pass the salt. All right, stop hounding me. Riley, what's the matter with you? Oh, excuse me, Gillis. My nerves ain't been so good lately. Hey, you don't look so good. Sleep okay? No, I got insomnia. If I knock off 10 hours of sleep a night, I'm lucky. All day long while I'm working, I'm wide awake. That ain't like you, Riley. And I got no appetite. The minute I get through eating lunch, the very thought of dinner nauseates me. My nerves are all shot.
It's a good thing you got a vacation starting next week. You've been working too hard.
Oh, it ain't just work, it's the family, too.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Riley. Now, I love my wife as well as the next man. But sometimes I wish she'd have married the next man.
Yeah, I know, Gillis.
Nag. Only this AM, she says, I need some more money, Pooch Face. That's her pet name for me when she's trying to get $3 or over. Under $3, she calls me Gillis. That's my maiden name.
They all use that sweet name gag.
Yeah, so I says, what do you mean you need more money? Where am I going to get it? I only got $2 to last me till payday. If I give it to you, what do you expect me to do, I says? You expect me to degrade myself by going to my good friend Riley and borrowing it from him?
Boy, you sure told her off.
Well, I did. Riley, could you lend me $2 till payday?
Well, I'd be only too happy, Gillis, but just this morning my wife says to me, oh, cuddle.
Okay, Riley, skip it.
It's tough being a family man.
Riley, just between us, and don't let it go no further.
Oh, no.
Have you ever thought how nice it would be to be a bachelor? Oh, have I? Thinking about being a bachelor is one of the few pleasures I get out of married life. Just imagine if we'd have never gotten married. What a time we'd be having, huh? The two of us would be sharing a little bachelor apartment. Yeah, and every night when we come home from work, we'd take off our overalls and put on our tuxedos. Yeah. Then we'd mix us a couple of them Manhattan. Yeah, Manhattan. And then we'd get out the little red address book and phone up a couple of nifty numbers. Oh, no. I don't think I want like that. Riley, we're bachelors. Oh, we'll phone them up. That's all right. You think about Mr. Man. Eggs and everything what is. Oh, you're not my honey. Let's smash that to my food. And then there's, there must be fun to be a bachelor. We're finished. No, I don't think I can go to this. You see, my wife and kids. No, I don't think it was the family. I wouldn't even ask. Don't ask them, tell them. That's what I'm going to do. You are? Sure. But if you're scared, forget it. Who's scared? If I want to go, I'll go. Now you're talking. Let's put our feet down, huh? Let's show our wives who's boss. Yeah, we're through being kicked around. The time has come for action, Riley. You and me, we got to revolt. Revolt is the word, Gillis. For years, my family's been leading me around by the nose. And tonight they'll find out I got a nose of a different color.
Mother, is the evening paper here yet?
Oh, yes, but you better not touch it before your father reads it. You know how he rages if somebody messes up his paper.
Well, gosh, why is Pop so nervous lately?
Well, he's been working awful hard.
Thank goodness his vacation starts Monday. Where are we going, Mother?
Well, I was just wondering if maybe your father shouldn't go away by himself for a week.
But every year we go with him.
Well, I know, but I think he needs a rest from the family, too. It'll do his nerves a world of good.
I think you're right, Mother.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. But will Pop go for it?
Well, maybe we can talk him into it when he comes home. Oh, in here, dear.
Oh, you're all here. Good. Now listen, everybody. There's something I want to tell you about myself. I ain't like other men. I'm revolting.
Well, what do you care what other people say? We love you.
I'm talking about my vacation. I'm going away by myself for a week.
Well, that's fine, dear.
I don't want no arguments. My head's made up. I said I'm going by myself, and I'm going.
All right, go ahead.
Peg, you didn't hear me good. I said I'm going away by myself.
I heard you. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Well, so do I, Daddy.
When are you leaving, Pop?
Now, just a minute. I got something to say about this.
Riley, it was your idea.
You brought it up, Pop.
Trapped. I know it was my idea, but I'm quite willing to give it up if it'll make you unhappy.
We won't.
I know, but I mean, it may be very inconvenient with me away. There's lots of work around the house. So suppose you want the hot water heater fixed. Who'll do it?
Who usually does it?
Mom.
Yeah, but who holds the light for her? I do.
Now, stop thinking of silly excuses, Riley. You're going. We won't let you back out now.
Why, sure, you go, Pop.
Fine thing. My own family pushing me out of the house.
Now, here's what you do. You make a reservation at some nice boarding house.
Oh, no, nothing doing. No boarding house for me. This is going to be a real vacation. Gillis and me are going to take a little cabin up in Big Beaver Lake. Miles from civilization. We'll do our own cooking. We'll hunt fish.
Oh, Daddy, you don't like that.
What do you mean I won't like it?
Well, you never roughed it before.
Who never roughed it before? You're forgetting when I got married, I lived 6 months with my in-laws.
You and Mr. Gillis better get aboard.
Yeah, we don't want to miss this train, eh, Gillis?
I should say that.
I never thought you and Jimsy would really go off by yourself. Neither did I, honeybee. Oh, Daddy, the train's starting.
Yeah, it's starting. Well, hurry up. Hey, get on the train.
Riley, you're going, not me.
Oh, yeah. Well, where's my bag?
In your hand, Riley.
Come on, Riley. Hurry up. Well, kiss me goodbye, Babs. Goodbye, Junior. Goodbye, Peg. Oh, gee, Dumpling, you haven't kissed me like that in years.
That's honeybee you're kissing.
How do you like that, Riley? He kisses my wife and he don't have to. Goodbye, honeybee, sweetheart. Gillis, get on the train. I'm coming. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dumpling. Goodbye, Ben.
Junior. Even if it's only $5.
Goodbye.
If you get homesick, come home.
Goodbye. Goodbye, kids. Goodbye, Dumpling. Bye. Well, Gillis, we're off at last. We made it all right. Did you hear what Peg said about getting homesick? Yes. For the next week, we're going to be bachelors. That's right. So let's act like real bachelors, huh? For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Sure is beautiful in these woods, Gillis. Yeah, sure is. We didn't make no mistake coming up here. This is the life, all right. Yep, this is the life. Let's sit down and rest a minute, huh? Might as well. We got no place to go. But it's great up here. Oh, yeah. Greatest place in the world. Smell that air. Pure H2O. Yep. It's a great spot, all right. Yeah. Gillis, you ain't homesick, are you? Me? Homesick? Are you kidding? You homesick? Oh, me? No. Well, what's there to be homesick about? This is only our first day up here. We still got 6 days, 18 hours, and 24 minutes before we go home. 23 minutes. I better fix my watch. Yeah, I'm like you, Riley. I ain't even thinking about home. Oh, sure, that's the way to be. What's so wonderful about home? We should think about it all the time. That's right. Why, if I was home now, what would I be doing? I'd probably be playing ping pong with my boy Eggbite on the front porch. I'd probably be playing catch with Junior in the backyard. Or I'd be watering my little garden, watching if my petunias come up yet. If it was hot, I'd be laying out in the hammock under the walnut tree with a glass of lemonade in my hand. Babs would be swinging me. Junior'd be swishing off the flies. Peg would be reading me the baseball scores. Oh, that's the life, Gillis. Yeah, that's the life. But this life is better. Oh, yeah, this life is better. Hey, you know what, Gillis? Let's go down to the corner and shoot some pool. With who? Some chipmunks? Oh, yeah. I forgot we're here in this godforsaken place. Riley, you sure you ain't homesick? Me? Homesick? Well, to tell you the truth, I may never go back. Yeah, me neither. 6 days, 18 hours, and 21 minutes. Hey, Gillis, look at that. In a tree, a bird nest. It's got live birds in it. 3 of them. Yeah, it's a whole family. Look, that's the mama bird with 2 little kid birds. Just like Peg and Babs and Junior. They're waiting for the papa bird. Pretty soon, he'll come home with a wife. Just like me on payday. Gillis, I never realized that birds are human. Well, of course they're human. What do you think they are, animals? What's that? It's a frog. Look there, near that rock there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see two frogs. Yeah, it's a mama frog with little kid froglet. Just like my honeybee and egg bite.
Yeah. The frog is waiting for her mate to come home, just like the bird. Listen, she's calling to her mate. Oh, Gillis. It's just as if my peg is calling to me.
And my honeybee's calling to me.
Oh, Riley. Oh, Gillis.
The third day of Riley's and Gillis's vacation in a housekeeping cabin in the mountains. Both men are miserably homesick, but their pride is forcing them to stick the week out. However, they've been letting their misery out on each other, and the atmosphere in the little cabin is laden with tension.
Oh, it's you, Gillis. Yeah, it's me. Who do you expect in this wilderness? Daniel Boone? Did you catch any fish? No, they wasn't biting today.
Where's my fishing rod I let you use?
How should I know?
What do you mean, how should you know?
A trout pulled it out of my hand and swam away with it.
Swam away with my rod?
Listen, Gil. Oh, quit beefing. I'll pay you for it. Is supper ready? You know, it's your turn to do the housework today. If that supper ain't...
It's ready.
What's there to eat?
You'll eat what I give you.
I don't smell nothing.
Lucky for you don't, because we're having canned sardines.
Sardines? You gave me sardines for breakfast and lunch. What kind of a meal is that to give a man?
I didn't have anything else in the house.
Why not? Why didn't you go down to the village and buy some meat?
I didn't have time.
What do you got to do all day?
Oh, you've got your nerve asking me that. While you were out fishing, I just made the beds, washed the dishes, scrubbed the floors, and you got the nerve to come home and yell at me. Me with my housemaid's knee. Believe me, I'm sorry.
All right, Riley. Quit nagging. A man comes home after a hard day, and all you do is nag, nag, nag. It's bad enough I don't get no peace. I gotta eat sardines yet.
Oh, you think you can run the house any better?
I know I can.
Okay, then I'm through. Here's my apron. That's Gillis. What a stubborn mule. Okay, let him stay there in that miserable cold cabin. I'll stay out here in this nice warm swamp. Gee, I wish I was home. Tomorrow will be Sunday. Sunday, the day of rest. Our whole family together. Junior mowing the lawn, Babs washing the car, Peg beating the rugs, and me in bed resting. Gee, how I miss Peg. I ain't been so lonesome since our honeymoon, when I fell off the train and she went to Niagara Falls without me. Oh, what a vacation. I'm so lonely I could die.
Then it's a good thing I'm here.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Oh, it's you, Tigger.
Greetings, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
Well, what are you doing up here, Digger?
Oh, I'm staying at the village inn. I needed a holiday. Lately, I've been carrying too much on my shoulders.
I guess you work pretty hard all year.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm busy as a gopher.
You mean beaver?
In our profession, it's gopher. I gather you're on a vacation, too?
Some vacation. I'm up here with Gillis. But it's no fun. We're always fighting.
Oh, it's so silly to fight with your fellow man. You know what I always say? Live and let live. Of course, in my profession, I'm considered a radical.
The reason we nag each other is because we're both so homesick. You wouldn't believe it, but the least little thing makes us homesick. Like yesterday when a frog croaked.
That would make me homesick, too. son Clay has a pity. So miserable home to your dear family.
Oh, I'd like to, Digger, but I tried.
It doesn't. He was so proud to me. He thought, 10 years that man again.
But what happened?
I didn't talk. He was beneath me. Riley, take my... Go home.
You really think I ought to go, Digger?
Riley, when I say a man's got to go, he goes.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Digger. I'll leave right away. Oh, thanks for the advice.
Don't mention it. You know me. Always glad to friend a push in the right direction. Well, cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Well, here we are, Gillis, back home.
Yeah, they'll be surprised to see us.
Yeah, I feel like such a fool coming home 4 days ahead of time.
So do I, but it's worth it not to be home.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, we might as well face the music.
Yep. See you later, Randy.
Okay. Peg, it's me. I'm home. Peg. Junior. Babs. Hey, where is everybody?
Honey, hey, Clay. Honey, it's me. Who's me? I'm home, honey.
Hey, Gillis, there's nobody home.
Nobody at my place, neither.
Well, that's a fine thing. We come home unexpected and there's nobody here.
There's something funny here, Riley. My honeybee is always home at this hour. This is the time she always listens in on the party line.
Something funny about my house, too. The blinds are all down.
Hey, Riley, look, there's a note there in the milk bottle.
Let's see that. Maybe it says here where they are. Gillis, they went up to the cabin in Big Beaver Lake.
What?
Yeah, look. Don't leave any milk until further notice. I'm going up to Big Beaver Lake to join my husband.
My family must have went with her.
They're there and we're here.
We'll just have to wait here till they get back.
Gillis, there's something I don't understand. Here we are at home and I'm still homesick.
Me too. I'm miserable.
Gillis, this proves something. We ain't homesick for the home. We're homesick for what's in it.
You mean our wives and kids?
Yeah.
You know what this means, Riley? We like being married.
What a revolting development this is.
Hey, mister, are you Chester Riley?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, telegram, sign here.
Gillis, this must be from them.
Hurry, open it up.
Poor things must be miserable all alone without us up there. They must be suffering.
What's the matter? What does it say?
Arrived this morning, found you were gone, having a wonderful time. They like it up there. They're happy without us. We might as well face it, Gillis. This means only one thing. After 17 years of married life, the honeymoon is over. Junior Babsy, you're back. Take off your coat. Sit down. Stay a while. I'm so excited I don't know what I mean.
Did you miss us?
Did I miss you? Believe me, I learned something while you were gone.
What, dear?
I found out that there's nothing like having a wife and children. No father should be without them.
The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker and is directed by Don Bernard. Music by Lou Kozloff. The script was written by Alan...
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner. Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum is still trying to bring the sales method of their Jot 'em Down store up to date by studying the book they recently purchased on modern salesmanship. However, he's having a difficult time trying to teach Abner the underlying principles. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows down at their Jot 'em Down store discussing the results of their efforts. Listen.
Grannies, I can't understand it, Abner. We've had this book for 2 days now, and our business ain't increased a bit.
Well, that advertisement said that feller in Clinton, Iowa, increased his business 72% in 2 days, Lum.
I know it.
And if anything, our business is falling off. You ain't been reading that book backwards, have you?
Of course not. Maybe we ain't given it enough time yet, Abner. One thing, we ain't had enough customers to work it on.
Well, I've been trying out that cherry greeting and all that on everybody that comes in, but they all start backing off like they're suspicious of me.
Well, I believe you've been overdoing that, Abner. Like yesterday when you greeted Mamie Seastrunk whenever she come in here. Slapped her on the back hard enough to might not knock the breath out of her. I don't think we ought to slap women folks on the back when you greet them.
Well, that book said customers. Never said what kind.
Well, I think that's carrying things too far, though. I believe by the time we get through reading the whole book, our sales will start picking up.
Well, that tells you so many things to do in there. I just can't recollect them all.
Well, you don't have to try everything it says on each customer. I was just glancing over a chapter a while ago about that. It tells about the different kinds of customers, how you're supposed to size them up, and how you treat each type.
Well, I think we ought to treat all the customers just the same, not show no favorites, Lum.
Well, they mean some things will work on one type of customer that won't work on another.
Well, what do you mean, type of customer?
Well, they got a bunch of different types, according to the book. Wait, where is that? I turned the page down.
Well, you sure been studying that thing, I'll say that for you. Had your nose buried in it ever since
Here it is, right here. There are several types of customers, the most common of which are the aggressive type, the impulsive type, the reticent type, the friendly type, the intellectual type, the indecisive type, the suspicious type, and each must be treated in a different manner.
Well, what if you don't know what kind you're talking to, though, and you use the wrong talk on them?
Well, it goes on to say here that the first thing a salesman has to learn to do is to size up your customer. Find out what type they are.
Well, what's their size got to do with it?
I say you size them up.
Well, yeah, if they come in here wanting a pair of overalls or something like that, but I don't see what difference it makes how big a feller is if he just wants a can of tomatoes or some baking powder. You can't always tell by the size of a feller that way, Lum. Not like Fred Quincy, for instance.
Fred Quincy? What's he got to do with it?
Well, you know how little and skinny he is. I'll put him up again every man you ever seen when it comes to eating. I don't know where he puts it. Down there at the old settlers' picnic this year, they left him there to guard the pies that they was going to use in a pie-eating contest.
Yeah.
I noticed when it come time for the contest, they weren't a one of them pies left.
You mean he had all the pies by himself?
Well, he claimed there was a big bear come in there and ate him up, but of course everybody knowed it was him.
Yeah. They ought to give him the prize for winning the contest.
Well, they couldn't. They had a big layer cake for the prize, and me dad blames he hadn't ate that, too.
He must have an appetite.
Well, it just seems to sort of hit him by spells at eating. Now, they had a watermelon eating contest about a half hour later, and he just won second place in that.
Well, I do know.
And he's just a little bitty skinny feller, too.
Well, size ain't got nothing to do with what they're talking about here in the book, though, Abner. When it says sizing up somebody, it means judging somebody by his looks, or his words, or how he acts.
Yeah, well, you could tell by Fred Quincy's looks what size he was.
I mean, well, it says here, for instance, you can always tell the impulsive type by their fast, quick, nervous motions and mannerisms of speech.
Yeah, well, Fred ate fast, too.
Well, forget about Fred Quincy for a while and listen to this. Concentrate on the book.
Go ahead.
Says here, the way to handle this type of customer is to make the sales talk brief and to the point. Often, a quick demonstration of the article is much more impressive than a long, drawn-out sales argument.
Yeah, well, now, what do they mean there, that demonstration, Lum?
Well, demonstrate it. Show how it works before you try to sell it.
Oh, all right, doggy, that's interesting.
Oh, this is fine stuff to know here. There's sound reasoning in everything it says, every line of it.
Well, sir, I bound you the feller that wrote that could sell anything, you know it?
Yeah.
I don't reckon he's the one that come through here a few years ago selling lightning rods, was he?
Selling what?
Lightning rods.
Oh, I don't know. I don't recollect that feller's name.
Hell, it might be. He was a seller, I'll say that for him. He weren't here but a few days, and again he left town, he had lightning rods on everything in this town. Even sold old stingy Jim Watson the rest of them.
If he sold old stingy Jim one way, he was a salesman, I'll say that for him.
Had lightning rods on everything on his place. House, barn, silo, even a chicken coop. 2 on his wagon and 1 on the plow. Had everything lightning rodded.
For goodness sake. Well, you see, he must have found out just what type Stingy Jim was and knowed the right way to handle it. See, Stingy Jim is sort of the suspicious type, and a little on the indecisive type, if I know just what that means. You see, what it says here about him, find out just how he handled old Stingy Jim.
Yeah, read what it says. I'd love to sell him something.
The suspicious or indecisive type are very slow to make up their mind.
That's Stingy Jim right there.
And contrary to the impulsive type, a long and persuasive sales argument is most effective. The first step in handling this type is through gaining their confidence. This is usually accomplished by first discussing subjects in which they are interested, rather than rushing immediately into a sales argument.
Now, cripple that and run it through again, Lum. I believe I jumped the track there on you.
Well, it means don't be in a rush to sell them. Sort of visit with them. Talk about things they're interested in. Find out what they like. Now, with Stingy Jim, he loves money, and if I was going to undertake to sell him something, I'd get on the subject.
Cedric, we hunt Cedric.
Well, now, Cedric's sort of that type we're just reading about.
Well, he ain't stingy, Cedric.
No, but he's slow about making up his mind and all, sort of the suspicious and indecisive type. Now, you try to rush him into a deal, and he'll balk on you.
Oh, well, I know just how to handle him. He loves to fish and hunt.
Yeah.
I'll get to talking to him about that and see if I can't sell him something.
Yeah, this is a good chance for you to try it out. Now, just take your time.
Yeah, mind out.
Yeah, howdy, Cedric.
Come in, Cedric.
Well, howdy. Mr. Abner, could I get about 5 pounds of horseshoe nails right quick?
Why, sure, Cedric, sure.
You helping your pa over at the blacksmith shop now, Cedric?
No, Mom, just this afternoon I am. They got him swamped under over there. Shoeing 1 span of mules and got 3 teams awaiting.
Well, you been doing any fishing lately, Cedric?
No, Mom, I ain't, Mr. Abner. About 5 pounds of them nails.
I hear Luther Phillips catched a 28-pound catfish down there in Big Eddy.
Yes, Mom, I seen it down there at the barber shop yesterday morning.
Well, what was a fish doing in the barber shop?
Oh, he just brung it down there to show it off, I think.
Sit down, Cedric, sit down.
No, Mom, I reckon I ain't got time. Paul's waiting on them nails.
Been doing any hunting, Cedric?
Went squirrel hunting last Friday.
Well, where'd you go, over on Old Piney Mountain?
No, Mom, just down there in them Pin Oak Flats along the river there.
You do any good?
Yes, Mom, they're pretty thick down there this year. You ain't out of them horseshoe nails, are you, Mr. Abner?
Oh, me no, Cedric. Got worlds of plenty of them back there. Now, don't worry about us running out of nothing here at the Jot 'em Down store. You can always depend on us. Whose dog did you take?
Mom, that little 5-stay Ezra Seastrunk.
The black and white one?
Yes, Mom.
Is he better than that hound Ezra's old trump?
I believe he puts them up a tree better. But what about them nails there?
Oh, well, here, wait a minute. I'll get a hammer back here. I want to demonstrate them to you.
Mom, you want to do what?
Wait a minute, Abner. You're getting mixed up there. That ain't for customers like Cedric. That's for the impulsive type. That's demonstrating.
No, sir, you said it was for the spacious type, Lum.
I've never done no such thing.
You did, too. Don't you know you read it right?
I know what it said. Then let me find out here. I'll prove it.
You're going to find out you're wrong, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mr. Abner.
Oh, wait a minute, Cedric. Wait a minute.
I believe it was on this page here.
You're wrong.
Well, get your head out of the way. I can't see nothing. Your head right there in the book.
Oh.
Yeah, here it is, right here. The way to handle the impulsive type of customer is to make the sales talk brief and to the point. Often a quick demonstration of the article is much more impressive than a long, drawn-out sales argument. See, Grannies, I know the hedges.
Well, I just got the two mixed up together there somewhere, I reckon. Well, all right, Cedric. 5 pounds. Cedric, where'd he go?
Hey, Cedric.
Oh, there he goes. I'm across the street in the Dick Huddleston store. Dad, blame that book anyway.
Yeah, well, don't lay it on to the book now, Abner. It's our own fault. We sized him up wrong, I reckon. My Granny, Cedric must be the impulsive type.
Say, Amos, this seems like Sunday.
It is Sunday. You see, Andy, we is on the radio now every Sunday on CBS for Rinso.
That's right. Rinso, the new Rinso with Solium, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. Remember, Rinso, the soap that contains solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you a full half hour of entertainment with Lou Lubin, Eddie Green, Jeff Alexander's orchestra and chorus, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. And now, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Amos and Andy. Well, the impossible has happened in the Stevens household. George Kingfish Stevens got a job. He's been working for a week now as a salesman in a local real estate office. Today is payday, and as he returns home, he is greeted by his wife, Sapphire.
Oh, George, this is the greatest thrill of my life. You bringing home a pay envelope.
Yeah, well, here it is. What is you going to do with it?
George, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to take this envelope, go down to the beauty parlor, and use what's in it to make myself attractive.
Well, now, wait a minute, honey. There's only money in there, not magic, you know. Besides that, don't you go squandering that money. We better hang on to this.
George, what you hinting at? Is you in trouble on that job already?
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is the bad time of the year for selling real estate.
George, I'm surprised you lasted this long. Before this, you never put in a full day's work in your life.
Well, now, wait a minute. Before you shoot off your mouth there, what about that job I had at the cement company? On my first day down at that cement plant, I was there for 12 long hours.
Yes, and the reason was because you fell asleep in some wet concrete, and it took them that long to chip you out.
Well, I got overtime, didn't I?
George Stevens, you're a disgrace. You done had 55 jobs in the last 2 years, and you've been fired off of every one of them.
Yeah, well, at least I ain't no quitter.
There ain't no point in arguing, George. I'm giving you an ultimatum.
A what?
An ultimatum.
Give it to me.
You better get busy on this real estate job and go over some deals. I'm through with you.
Well, now, you wait a minute, honey.
Oh, I don't know why I ever married you, and to think that 20 years ago I was fool enough to throw myself at you.
Yeah, and to think I was fool enough not to duck, too.
Oh, come in, Kingfish.
Hiya there, Henry.
Say, there's a nasty rumor going around town that you was going to work.
Well, that's right, Henry. Hiya's working in the real estate office.
Well, tell me, Kingfish, did Sapphire force you to go to work, or did you take the job on account of your own violation?
Well, about 50-50, Henry, but at the rate I'm going, I don't think I'm going to keep the job much longer. I can't find no good houses to sell.
Well, you know, there was a couple of very nice ones up there on the Parkway. I believe the architecture was one of French colonial, and the other one was late gorgeous Georgian.
That's the trouble, you see. All them houses is too expensive. If I'm going to sell something, I got to get something in the cheaper brackets. That's what I got to get.
Well, say, wait a minute, Kingfish. I just remembered an item I seen in the paper. The state has just condemned a number of houses out in the country to put in a new highway.
The state done condemned some houses on the highway?
Yes, they ain't in too good shape, so the state will give them to anybody that'll pay the cost of moving them.
The houses is free, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I could sell one of them to Andy and not tell him that he got to move it, why, everything I make would be clear profit there.
Yes, Kingfish, but Andy might not want to make the changeover from his room to a house, though.
Yeah, if I could tell him that his room and house has been sold, say, wait a minute. Say, you know, the United Nations has been buying up a lot of property in town. I'll just convince Andy that the United Nations is moving uptown, and he has got to get out.
Yes, well, good luck, Kingfish. I got to go now and stop by the furrier's to get my wife Clara's fur coat out of the cold storage.
Oh, you put it in cold storage, huh?
Yes, it keeps things from deteriorating and falling apart. I've often wished I could put Clara in there for a couple of months.
Well, here's Andy's room. I hope this United Nations stuff works.
Oh, how is you, Kingfish?
Oh, Henry, is you still here? Well, come on, I'll help you pack. You ain't got much time, son.
Kingfish, what are you talking about?
Andy, ain't you heard the big news?
No.
The United Nations has done bought this whole neighborhood. They're moving their whole UN headquarters up here. Lock, stock, and delegates.
Yeah? Well, when did this happen?
Oh, it was announced on the wireless this morning by that famous English statesman, Churchill Downs. It was broadcast right from the steps of the British Kremlin. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and with people from all these nations moving up here, they has given everybody 48 hours to move out.
48 hours? That's awful short notice, ain't it?
Well, it didn't give me that much. Me and Sapphire come home from a picture show last night and found 2 Bulgarians sleeping in our bed.
Yeah, well, how is all this going to affect me? I don't want to sleep with no Bulgarians, I'll tell you that.
How is it going to affect you?
Yeah.
And that the 4 powers is dividing the whole area around here in 4 sections. And I see the blueprint of the plan. It's going to be just like Berlin, and the boundary line for the whole thing is going to run right through your room.
It is, huh?
Yeah. And by the time the UN gets through dividing up, your bathroom is going to be behind the Iron Curtain.
That's bad, ain't it?
Yeah, well, might be a little inconvenient when you get up in the morning. You might have to show your passport before you can brush your teeth. Not only that, Andy, but on account of the Russians, they're going to have to fly your food in here by airlift, you know. You got to eat it.
Oh, mate, this is a mess. But look, Kingfish, I still don't understand what this UN needs so much room for. What is this UN bunch trying to do anyway?
Well, the UN is trying to establish world peace, that's what. What do you think they've been fighting and squabbling for the past 4 years? Peace and brotherly love.
Yeah? Well, what about the Russians? Is they after peace, too?
Oh, the Russians is really after it, Andy. They are so determined to have peace that they is liable to shoot 10 or 20 million people just to get it. And the nutshell of the thing, Andy, is you better move out of this neighborhood.
Yeah, I was really in bad trouble, all right. Only thing is, if I got to get out of here, I don't know where I could move to.
Ha, 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 ha. Well, the funny thing is you should mention that, Andy. Maybe I can help you, brother. It just so happens that I, being in the real estate business here, I just got a place for you that's for sale. A nice 6-room house for only $500.
$500?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, all over the country they're selling houses for $10,000 and $15,000. How come I get one at such a cheap price?
'Cause you ain't a veteran, Andrew.
That helps, huh?
Oh, yeah. According to the real estate board, the word is out, give the cowards the brace. That's what it is.
Well, I can't go wrong for no $500. I'll take the thing. And I'll go right down to the bank and get the $500 out of my savings account and meet you back here and we'll close the deal.
Okay, Andy, and I'll give you the deed to the house.
Yeah. Listen, Kingfish, you think I'll be happy with this house?
Oh, Andy, you'll be in heaven, my boy. It's like being up on a cloud listening to the angels.
It's nice of you to drive me out here to look at my new house, Amos.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to do it, Andy, but tell me something, son. How come all of a sudden you was moving out of the apartment?
Oh, I couldn't stay there, Amos. You see, the 4 powers is going to invite up a Bulgarian in my bedroom.
Excuse me, Andy, I guess the motor's a little noisy here. I didn't get the drift of what you said there. How come you're moving again?
I had to get out of the neighborhood, Amos. You see, the Russians is going to iron some curtains.
Iron some curtains?
Yeah, and if that happens, they're going to have to feed me by airway.
Andy, I can't figure out what you...
Now, hold it. Here's my house. Turn in right here. Turn in. There's the place, Amos. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, it ain't bad for the money, Andy. Say, who's that fella there on your front porch?
Well, wait a minute, I'll ask him. Say, mister, what is you doing on my porch?
Oh, is this your house?
Yeah.
Well, I'm from the highway department. I hope you've arranged to move the house off the property by Thursday.
Move the house?
Why, yes. The new highway goes right through here. Weren't you informed when you bought the place?
Amos, I think that Kingfish done tricked me again, you know it?
Well, $500, that ain't a bad day's work. Yeah, it ought to really make Sapphire happy. I better put it away, though. Here comes somebody down the hall. Come in, Shorty.
Hi, Kingfish. I just rushed over here to tell you something. I just saw Andy, and the thing is, if you don't, I mean, on account of, if I was you, well, don't tell nobody I told you.
Now, wait a minute, sir. Now, listen, calm down, Shorty, and tell me, what is you talking about?
Now, listen, I just saw Andy, and boy, if he mad about you selling him a house without no lot, he really gonna beat you up.
Oh, me and I is allergic to that fighting stuff, too.
Listen, Kingfish, every man who's a man has got to fight sometime. Well, I remember only last month I had an argument with a great big fella. Oh, he weighed 210 pounds. And was I afraid? No. I said to him, meet me down at the gymnasium this afternoon. I'm going to put on the glove. I'll beat you to a pub. And be down there at 4 o'clock sharp, and I'll knock you from one end of that gym to the other. That's what I said.
Yeah, well, what happened, Shorty?
I don't know. I didn't show up.
Now, wait a minute, Shorty. Look here. I think I know how to get out of this mess with Andy. I know where there's a little lot out in the country that I can get for $75. I got it listed right here. Now, look here. I'll give him the lot, and he can move the house on that. And I'll still make a nice profit out of the deal.
$75. That's pretty cheap. This last summer when I was up in the country, I paid $700 for 3 acres.
Yeah, well, you did, huh?
The farmers around there told me it was grazing land or something. They said the grass on there was nourishing and healthy and nutritious. They said it was wonderful grass. I sold the property after 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, well, why'd you sell it, Shorty?
Every time I ate the stuff, it made me sick.
Oh, come in, Brother Andy, come in.
Stand right where you is, Kingfish. I'm going to beat you within an inch of your life.
Well, now, wait a minute, Andy, wait a minute. Take it easy. Would you fight with a man who is smaller than you is?
What you mean, smaller than I is? You is half a head bigger than I is.
I know, but I fight from a crouch. I gets down like this.
Kingfish, this is the dirtiest trick you ever done to me. Sticking me with that house without no lot.
Oh, is that what you saw about?
Yeah.
Well, I was prepared to make good on that, Andy. Oh, I was your pal. You know I wouldn't stick you with a house without sticking you with a lot, too. Oh,
Now, that sounds more like it.
Yeah, oh, sure, Andy. Look here. You has done had the lot all the time. The only reason you didn't happen to notice it when you looked at the house is because the lot is 12 miles away.
Wait a minute, 12 miles away from the house? How you explain that?
Well, you can't explain it, Andy. It's just one of the quirks of the real estate business, that's all.
12 miles. Couldn't they quirk that a little closer? And besides, Kingfish, how do I get the house over to the lot?
Well, you has it moved, that's what. And you can even live in the house while there's moving it. And the trip will do you good, Andy. Oh, I tell you, Andy, there's no thrill like whizzing through the city in your own home.
That sounds good, all right, but where's this lot?
Brother Andy, I was very happy to say that it's centrally located.
What do you mean, centrally located?
Right in the middle between two other lots.
Well, that's a good location, all right.
Now, Andy, the next thing to do is to decide just where on this lot to put the house.
Yeah.
Now, I've got the plans of the lot right here, and I also got the plans of the house. Now, here, you take the house plans, and I'll take the plans of the lot here, and we'll check the figures.
Yeah, okay, Kingfish.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right. Width of lot, 35 feet.
Width of house, 42 feet.
Well, now, you see the thing, wait a minute. Let's run over them figures again. I think we done messed up a digit in there someplace.
Yeah, there's something wrong in there, all right.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Width of lot, 35 feet.
Width of house, Kingfish is still 42 feet.
And I think I've hit on what the trouble is. The house is just a wee bit bigger than the lot.
A wee bit? Kingfish, that house is 7 feet too big for that lot. What in the world is we going to do now?
Well, now, let's not get excited, Andy. In real estate circles, that's what's known as overlapping. I think the smartest thing to do is to make a few small alterations. Now, all you got to do is to cut 7 feet off the house, bring the outside wall in, and there you is.
Yeah, but what happens to the inside of the house?
Well, just looking at the plans of the house here to see you. Taking 7 feet off the dining room there won't hurt it a bit. Still leaves a nice-sized dining room, 12 by 3. Might even get a table in there. Wouldn't hurt you to take off the kitchen neither. All you lose is the sink, refrigerator, and the stove. Yeah. Let's look at the upstairs plan.
Yeah, get upstairs.
Yeah, well, now, taking 7 feet off the bathroom might make it a little inconvenient for you there.
How's that?
Your bathtub's going to be half inside the half a house and half outside.
Half the bathtub inside and half out? That ain't going to look too neat, is it?
Well, you might run a little ivy over the edge and make it look like a window box up there.
Yeah, but listen here. Listen. On Saturday nights, though, how's it going to look to people passing by? Me sitting up there taking a bath on a window box.
Well, you just have to wear a bathrobe when you're taking a bath, that's all.
Yeah, I'll wear my print one. They'll think I'm a geranium. Listen, Kingfish, I ain't no fussy guy, but we can't jam that big house of mine on that little lot. Now, you better do something about it.
Well, now, don't get excited, Andy. I'll tell you what I can do.
What?
I can buy 10 more feet of the property, and the house will fit on it like a glove.
Well, now you was talking.
Yeah, now it'll only cost you $350 to move the house.
Yeah, well, that's about what... Hold it, just a minute. Listen, I done had enough trouble with this house already, and if anybody's going to pay to move it, you is.
Yeah, well, now, look, Andy, I couldn't pay to move it if I wanted to. I'd be violating the building code. You was sold a stucco house, and under the law, you was a stuckee.
Listen here. Listen, I'm going to give it to you straight. If you don't find some way to move that house over to that new lot, I'm going to haul you into court and sue you.
Oh, me, what is the way?
Say, would you like to make up a little list of the newest, most exciting scientific discoveries? Well, then, be sure you put down new Rinso with Solium, because it's absolutely amazing what that new Rinso will do. Rinso with Solium gets white clothes actually whiter than when they were new, and gay washable colors even brighter than brand new. Whiter and brighter than new. See for yourself. Try new Rinso with the scientific sunlight ingredient Solium. Only new Rinso contains Solium.
Come in, Stonewall.
Hi, King.
Yeah, what's up, you Stonewall? I've been waiting here for 2 hours to discuss something with you.
Yeah, I've been over to court waiting to see how a case come out. See, a friend of mine was accused of counterfeiting, making counterfeiting money tonight. I know that man wasn't no counterfeiter. He was honest as the day is long. I wanted to handle the case for him, but I just didn't have the time.
Oh, you didn't, huh?
No, but he wasn't worried. No, he told me he'd handle his own defense. And by gosh, you know he got out of that unjust counterfeit charge?
How'd he get out?
He slipped the judge $2 million.
Here's my situation, Stonewall. You know there were some houses up on the East-West Highway that the state was giving away free to anybody to move them.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, well, I done took one of them houses without a lot, and I sold it to Annie for $500.
Kingfish, you didn't do a thing like that to Annie? Oh, that makes me mad. It infuriates me. Yeah. Why couldn't I have thought of that?
The thing I got to figure out, Stonewall, is how to get that house moved for nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's see here now. Why don't you tell the state that the house is a historical monument? Then they might move it free of charge to preserve it.
Well, I couldn't tell him that because the house was only built in 1920, so what is it going to do?
You know, Kingfish, the thing to do is to look at this in the spirit of legal jurisprudence. In other words, I say that the procedure we must follow is the old principle of veritas omnia ipso facto.
What does that mean?
Lie like a fool, man.
You know, I might go down to the highway commissioner and tell him the house has to be moved for the public good.
Yeah, to be used as a hospital or something.
Yeah, well, now that's right. Now, you know what? Say, if I told him that Andy was a doctor who was running a free clinic and needed this house for his work, that might swing the thing.
Yeah. Well, Kingfish, I guess that solves your problem. You know, in the legal profession, I really see the drab side of life. Take a case I got to start working on tomorrow. This criminal is the most despicable man I ever met. He has spent his whole life jipping and cheating widows and poor helpless people. It makes me sick just to think about it.
Well, if he feels that way, why don't you drop the case?
I would, but I hate to turn against my own father.
All right, Andy, now here's the highway commissioner's office. Now, I already called him on the telephone and explained the situation.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Now, look here. I was going in and put in the clincher. Now, remember everything I done told you. You was Dr. Brown. I'll go in first, and I want you to come in later at the psychopathic moment.
Okay, Yes, may I help you?
I asked George Stevens, the big philanthropist. I done spoke to you on the phone about an hour ago.
Oh, yes. Now, what's all that you told me about wanting us to move a house in the interest of public welfare?
Oh, yeah, well, to make a free medical clinic out of the thing. You see, Mother, I would gladly pay for the moving of the house myself, because I've always been a benefactor to these worthy causes. But lately, I done give away so much money that I done over-benefactored myself.
You said something about turning this clinic over to a Dr. Brown. Just where is he working now?
Well, in the only place he can afford, in an old attic that ain't got no heat in it.
No heat in it?
Yes, sir. It's really cold, too. The poor fella can hardly stand to work there. Matter of fact, instead of using gloves, he has to operate with a pair of mittens on.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, I tell you the truth, it really gets freezing up there. Why, the last appendix he yanked out looked like a popsicle.
Wait a minute, Stevens. Nothing could be that bad.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, the only heat he's had up there for that last week was one of the patients had a fever of 106.
This is the most fantastic story I ever heard.
Yeah, well, I just wish that Dr. Brown was here so you could hear this sad tale from his own shivering lips. I said from his own shivering lips.
Come in.
Well, what a coincidence. If it ain't the world-renowned Dr. Brown.
How is you, Mr. Stevens? Can you let me have 2 bits?
What is the trouble, Dr. Brown?
Well, I've been operating all week, and I just ran out of catgut this morning. You ran out of catgut? Yeah, I got 2 more operations to go. 2 big dectomies. 1 tonsillectomy and just a plain dectomy, too.
Well, what in the world is you going to do, Dr. Brown?
Well, if I don't get no catgut, I'm going to have to stick them fellas together with Scotch tape, I'll tell you. And I got some more bad news for you, Mr. Stevens. Yesterday, I got evicted out of that attic where I've been working.
Oh, that is terrible, Dr. Brown. How is you going to carry on your great work?
Well, it's going to be tough, all right. For instance, last night, I was walking along the street, and all of a sudden, a fella come up to me screaming. I gave him a quick examination and discovered he needed his gallstones took out right away.
Well, why did you perform this serious operation, Doctor?
Had to take him to a motel.
Motel, huh? How did the thing work out?
Not so good. Checking out time was 2:30, and I had to finish the operation on the front lawn. Stones all over the place. This is all very interesting, Dr. Brown. But,
Dr. Brown, would you mind waiting outside just a minute, Duffy? Would you? You just step outside.
Sure. Now, look, Stevens, I don't believe all this nonsense. And besides that, my records here show that due to some engineering problems, they're going to have to divert the highway 75 feet from the property. The house won't have to be moved at all.
Holy smokes, that's wonderful.
And if you want to buy the lot, I'm sure the state will sell it to you for a very small sum. Now, will you excuse me? I'm very busy.
Yes, sir. Just 75 feet from the highway. Let me think. If I could get a hold of that place myself, I could turn it into a little road stand and a gas station and make a fortune. I hope Andy's still waiting for me.
Well, Kingfish, did the thing work out? Is they going to move the house for me?
No, Andy, they ain't. And I'm going to tell you something, Brother Andy. My conscience has been nibbling on me about this whole deal.
It is, huh?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Andy. I was going to give you back your $500 and take this whole mess off your hands.
Oh, that's great. Kingfish, you was a pal.
Yeah, put it there.
So this is the house you got, Joe.
Yes, I really put over a big deal. You see, when I found out that they was going to divert the highway 75 feet, I give Andy his $500 back, and I got the deed to the house. Then I took the money I earned this summer, and I paid the state $150 for the lot. Now I got a place just 75 feet from the highway that we can change into a nice little road stand and gas station.
Oh, George, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, honey, look here at this fellow with the telescope here. He must be the highway engineer. I'll find out when to go finish the highway so I'll know when to start changing the place over. Mr. Engineer.
Yeah?
Since I heard you was going to divert the highway 75 feet, I'm going to put a gas station right here.
Well, if you're going to build a gas station here, you're going to need an awful long hose.
What do you mean?
You apparently misunderstood about that diverting. We're diverting the highway up. We're elevating the highway 75 feet in the air.
There's something big going on. The people that make Rinso is giving away a brand new Mercury every day for 30 days.
Yeah, ain't that something? How you get yourself one of those Mercuries?
Well, do like Miss Gilmore say. Listen here.
Well, it's a contest. A new contest every weekday, Monday through Friday, for 30 days until November 19th with separate prizes for each day. The prizes are sensational. In all, there's 30 shiny new 1949 four-door Mercury sedans and 3,000 cash prizes. Altogether, $100,000 in cars and cash. All you have to do is finish this statement in 25 words or less. I like Rinso because. Enter as many times as you like and send each entry with one Rinso box top to Lever's Mercury a Day Contest, Box 3, New York. That's Box 3, New York. Put the name of your storekeeper on your entries. Only residents of the continental United States, Alaska, and Hawaii are eligible. Follow the complete rules on the entry blank you can get at your store. Hurry! Enter Lever's Great Mercury a Day Contest today.
Yeah, sir, and when you go to your grocer, don't forget Rinso. Good night, folks.
See you next Sunday.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, Gracie has spent a very happy afternoon getting the complete works at her favorite beauty shop. She's just leaving when someone calls her name.
Hello, Gracie.
Why, it's Rita Hayworth. Oh, my, it's nice to see you again. It's been a long time.
Yes, I believe the last time was at my wedding.
That's right. George and I still talk about the day you became Mrs. Orson Welles. We'll never forget it.
Neither will I, Gracie.
Well, it was just the first time we'd ever seen a groom usher in the guests. play the organ, carry the bride's bouquet, and throw rice at himself.
Yes, it was a typical Wells production.
Oh, such a versatile boy. I hope you didn't mind my crying at your wedding, Rita. I always cry at weddings. I even cried at my own. I don't know why.
You married George Burns, didn't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rita, I'll bet a lot of women wonder what it's like to be married to a genius.
Yes, they do.
Well, sit down and I'll tell you.
You'll tell me.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. You married one, too.
Gracie, this beauty shop is new to me. What girl do you recommend for a manicure?
Oh, well, Edna knows more about fixing the cuticle.
Yes.
And Betty knows more about putting on the polish.
Yes.
But I always go to Lucille.
Why?
Well, she knows more about the other customers.
Thanks, Gracie. That's the girl for me. Oh, not that I believe the gossip I hear at a beauty shop.
Oh, well, neither do I. I just let it go in one ear.
Yes. Yes, it's unreliable.
Oh, I know you like this shop, Rita. I've been coming here for years.
Good.
Of course, lots of people don't understand why I bother with beauty shops. They think I don't need any treatment. What do you think?
I agree with them.
Oh, Rita, the things you say.
Well, it's true, Gracie. You always look so...
attractive.
Yes. And so,
alluring.
You're taking the words out of my mouth.
Well, I just wanted to be sure they were there.
Oh, Gracie, I always enjoy being with you. So much so that I'm going to ask you a favor.
Oh, what, Rita?
Well, I'm afraid to stay in that big house of mine.
Well, I shouldn't wonder with a man like Orson Welles around.
You don't understand, Gracie. Orson's away on business, and well, I'm afraid to stay there alone.
Oh.
So, would you come over and spend the night with me?
Oh, gee, I couldn't, Rita.
Oh, why not?
Well, George is afraid to stay home alone, too.
Well, then bring him along. I'd love to have you both.
Well, it sounds like fun, but George might object because his nightshirts aren't back from the hardware store yet.
Don't you mean back from the laundry?
No, the hardware store. He's having some iron bolts sewed into the hems of his nightshirts to keep them from creeping up.
Well, don't let that worry you, Gracie. I can give George a pair of Orson's pajamas.
Oh, well, they'd be much too large for him. George is very petite, you know.
Oh, well, then he can wear a pair of my pajamas.
Oh, do you think they'd fit him?
Well, sure. I can take in the shoulders a little.
Oh. Oh, well, all right, Rita. We'll be over this evening.
Thanks, Gracie. Bye.
Bye. Hello, dear. I'm home at last.
Hello, darling.
Get your hat and coat, George. I've got a surprise for you. We're going to spend the night with a friend.
I've got a surprise for you. We're going to stay home.
But, George...
I'm tired, honey. I want to relax. I don't feel like sitting around listening to a lot of old jokes and dull conversation.
Well, you won't have to, George. We'll do all the talking.
Nothing doing. I've had a hard day.
But, George, it's Rita Hayworth who wants us to come over. Orson's out of town and she's afraid to stay alone.
We'll have Rita come over here.
But if she comes over here and we go over there, she'll
still be alone, yeah. Honey, I'm not leaving the house tonight. I plan to curl up with a magazine and a cigar.
Well, take them along.
I can't curl up at Rita Hayworth's house.
Oh, George, any place you smoke those cigars of yours, you're bound to curl up.
Forget it. I'm staying home.
But, George, Rita and I can't stay alone in that big house all night. We need a man. We need you.
You do, huh?
Yeah. Who's going to cook our breakfast?
Gracie, I have other plans. I'm not going out of the house tonight.
Come in.
Hi, folks.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Say, what's the matter, George? You look troubled.
Oh, Gracie's always throwing cold water on my plans. Now she wants me to spend the evening at Rita Hayworth's.
Oh, Gracie, splash a little of that stuff on me, will you?
You got the wrong idea. It's just that Rita is afraid to stay home alone.
Bill, see if you can talk George into going over to Rita's with me.
It won't do any good. I'm staying right here.
Well, then I'll have to go by myself.
You mean you're going to leave me here alone tonight?
Well, you're not afraid, are you?
Me afraid?
Oh, all right. Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye. Me afraid. Did you hear that, Bill? Bill. Where are you? Bill! Oh, gosh. Wait, Gracie, I'm coming with you.
Mama's little commando.
Jimmy Cash sings an old favorite tonight, the romantic ballad, Wonderful One.
My wonderful one, whenever I'm dreaming, love's love light a gleaming I see. My wonderful one, how my arms ache to hold you, to cuddle and hold near to me. Just you, only you, in the shadowy twilight, in silvery moonlight, there's none like you. I adore you, my life I live for you, my wonderful, wonderful one. I'll always adore you, my life I live for you, my wonderful, wonderful
This is a nice place Rita and Austin had. Let's go in, Gracie.
No, wait a minute, dear. I want you to make a good impression on Rita. Stand up straight and pull in your chest.
Pull in my chest?
Well, what if it has changed location? To me, it'll always be your chest.
It's in.
Every wife likes to be proud of her husband, darling. And I want to be as proud of you as Rita is of Austin. Straighten your tie.
Okay, my tie's straight.
I want to show Rita I can pick 'em as better than she can.
Oh, thanks.
See, she picks Austin's ties, too.
Let's go in.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, remember to watch your manners and don't put your feet on the table unless you take your shoes off first. Don't come down to breakfast in your nightshirt unless Rita does.
Look, Gracie,
No,
let's...
just a minute, George. I want to show Rita that you're just as intelligent as her husband. So discuss things like taxes and rationing and the soldiers' vote. And say, George, what is it the soldiers want to vote for?
For president, of course.
Oh, we've got a president.
I know, but every 4 years we elect a new one.
Huh? Silly boy.
Come on, let's go in.
Now, remember, George, I want Rita to see that my husband is just as smart as hers, so act intelligent.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello.
Hello, George. Come right in.
Well, thank you, Rita.
Well, Rita, you don't have to worry about being frightened now. I brought a man along.
Oh, I'm so glad. Where is he? Putting the car away?
Huh?
Oh, you mean George. Excuse me. You know how it is. Wives don't think of husbands as being men.
Oh, well, speak for yourself, Rita.
Now, George, you take Orson's room at the head of the stairs. I'm sorry Orson isn't here. He'd show you up.
Oh, no, he wouldn't. George is just as smart as he is.
Gracie.
Yeah, go on, George. Be intelligent for Rita. Now, give us your opinion on rationing. How shall we solve the sugar shortage?
Look, honey.
Honey! Oh, he solved it. Now, George, what shall we do about the black market?
Oh, stop it.
Stop it! Oh, now why couldn't the government think of that?
All right, Gracie, that's enough now.
Oh, but I want to show you off, darling. Now, say something intelligent about the war. You see there? What other man would give you Hitler's viewpoint?
Look, I'll take my things up to the room now, Rita.
All right, George. Oh, by the way, Orson said if you'd like a little something to give you an appetite before dinner, just to help yourself.
Oh, really?
Yes, he left his rowing machine in his bedroom.
Oh, yeah, I'll take a few quick rows for myself. See you girls in a few minutes.
Well, there goes 132 pounds of solid intelligence. I'll never know how they squeeze such an enormous brain in that teensy tiny head.
Yes, I guess it is a close fit.
You know, it's a funny thing, Rita. Some women marry a man for his money, some for his looks, some for his mind. Guess I don't have to tell you why I married George.
No, I'm sure you had a good reason, too.
My goodness, we're awfully lucky to be married to such fine men.
Yes, we are, Casey.
How did you meet Orson?
Well, he was doing a magic show, and he said if I let him saw me in two, he'd take me to the theater.
Oh, just like George. Do anything to get you in for half price. Oh, but I still say we're the luckiest two women on earth to have such wonderful husbands.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, and I think how close I came to marrying somebody else. I had lots of chances, too, you know. I guess you did, too, Rita.
Yes, a few.
Oh, yes. I can see how men would be attracted to you. You crochet beautifully.
Thank you.
Oh, Rita, we're really so lucky. Wasn't life empty before you got married?
Yes, it was. Just a lot of fellows sending you flowers and candy and rushing you off your feet all the time.
Oh, yeah. Every night another date. The theater, nightclubs, dances, whining and dining. And say, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yes. Come to think of it, it was.
I never see the inside of a nightclub anymore.
Neither do I.
Has Orson taken you to the theater lately?
Not since Citizen Kane. Does George bring you candy?
Well, once when I had a cold, he brought me some cough drops.
Gracie, isn't marriage miserable?
Oh, it's a mess. If we were only single again, we could go out with hundreds of handsome men. Hey, wait a minute. There aren't hundreds of handsome men around anymore.
That's right. If we were single now, we'd just sit around home. So I guess we're pretty lucky to be married, Gracie.
Yeah, even to our husbands.
I'll never complain again.
Well, neither will I. Here we are, both married to geniuses. Oh, and you have this lovely home.
You like it, Gracie? Orson designed it.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, George is clever, too. Beautiful furniture you have, Rita.
Orson built it.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, George is clever, too. Oh, that gorgeous painting over the fireplace. An original, isn't it?
Yes. Orson painted it.
Oh. And the rug?
Orson wove it.
Oh,
I'm beginning to think that maybe Orson is cleverer than George.
Oh, let's forget about Orson. Come on into the kitchen and I'll whip up an omelet.
Oh, good.
Orson left some eggs in the icebox.
Oh, my goodness, he's even cleverer than George.
Time for Felix Mills and the orchestra. And tonight, with the Swantet, we hear a great little tune, Take It Easy, done in rumba style.
Don't you know it's more romantic when the dance is slow? Take it easy, take it easy. What's the good of feeling high when all the lights are low? Take your time, dance it with ease. Take your time, slow if you please. Take it easy, we've got lots of time ahead of us, the night is young. Hey, take it easy! Don't you know this music should be swayed instead of swung? Supposed to make the rumba jump. Take it easy, take it easy. If you don't, I fear that our romance will hit a bump. Don't you know it's time for romance when the music's sweet? You should really try to make your heart control your beat. Take it easy, take your time.
Oh, Rita, this is awful. Here I thought George was a genius, and now he turns out to be just the man I married.
Oh, it's nothing to get upset about, Gracie.
Oh, you don't understand, Rita. It's like having a great big dish of Tutti Frutti, and then the fruity melts away, and you're left with just the tutti.
Oh, calm down, Gracie. You're twisting and wadding that handkerchief to shreds.
I can't help it. How would you feel if you suddenly found yourself married to just plain George Burns?
Give me the handkerchief.
Oh, Rita, I'm going to make George into a genius if it's the last thing I do. Will you help me?
What can I do?
Well, tell me, what makes Austin a genius?
He isn't, Gracie. He's just an average, normal, everyday man.
But doesn't he do anything unusual?
No. His daily routine is the same as any other man's. He goes to bed about 2 a.m., gets up at 3 and has a moon bath. And then he writes a couple of poems in Chinese, has a breakfast of 2 3-minute ostrich eggs, and translates the morning paper into Egyptian. By that time, his brain is awake and he goes to work.
Well, doesn't he have any recreation?
Oh, certainly. He enjoys the usual sports. Every spring, he swims upstream with a salmon.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, George is going to need a lot of changing. Well, I better get started. He's asleep up in his room. George, wake up.
What's the matter?
Well, it's almost time for your moon bath.
My what?
Your moon bath. And besides, you're not supposed to be in bed yet.
Why not?
Orson Welles goes to bed at 2 in the morning.
Well, okay, I'll move over when he crawls in.
Oh, George, concentrate. Make up some poetry.
Poetry? Gracie, what have you been drinking?
Oh, go on, George. Poetry.
Mary had a little lamb.
Now, say it in Chinese.
Ming Toy had a little lamb.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're coming along fine. Do you think you can swim upstream with a salmon?
Well, couldn't I just fly south with the ducks?
Well, wait here. I'll find out. Rita, I think it's working. He almost looks intelligent.
Come in.
Hiya, girls.
Why, it's Bill.
Well, I thought I'd better drop by and see if you were frightened.
Frightened?
Well, yeah, you know, afraid of wolves and things.
No. No, we're not afraid of wolves. Come in.
Oh, thanks.
Bill, you're the first to hear the good news. A new Orson Welles has just been born.
No. Well, congratulations, Rita.
No, Bill. What Gracie means is that she's practically got herself a new husband.
Oh, well, congratulations, Gracie.
No. What we both mean is that we're making George into another Orson Welles.
Hey, what's going on around
Oh,
here?
George, you're up. But, darling, you forgot your slippers. Mama's little genius mustn't let his piggies get cold. I'll go up and get your slippers.
Rita, this place is turning into a madhouse. What's wrong with Gracie?
Oh, she thinks Orson is a genius, and she wants you to be like him.
Well, that means no rest from now on.
Say, it might cure Gracie if you became too much like Orson.
What do you mean?
Well, you just ham it up and leave the rest to me.
Well, okay.
All right, darling. Here are your slippers.
Take them away and bring me some leather.
Leather?
Yes, I'm in the mood to make my own slippers.
Oh, my goodness. What's come over you, George?
I'm obediently yours.
Why, he's getting more like Orson every minute.
I feel another mood coming on. Bring me a book.
I'll get you one from the library.
No, that'll take too long. Give me a pencil and I'll write one.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, I just knew you had it in you.
I'm obediently yours.
Here's the pencil, George.
Bring me some grapes. While I'm writing, I'll crush them with my feet and we'll have some wine.
Oh, darling, you're wonderful.
Say about the temperature for hot was written.
What language are you speaking?
I've run out of language. That's one I just made up.
You're so clever, so irresistibly brilliant. Come, sit here beside me.
I'm obediently yours.
Now, wait a minute.
Hold my hand and tell me that you love me.
George Burns, you let go of her hand.
Kiss me, my genius.
I'm obediently yours.
Don't you dare kiss him, Rita. Behave yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was carried away because he's so much like Orson. His every word, his every gesture.
Well, I don't like it. George, you stop being like Rita's husband.
But I thought you wanted me to be a genius.
Well, I've changed my mind. I'd rather have you be your own sweet, stupid self.